Howdy folks, welcome to Mosaic Team 5, our original Starfinder campaign. I'm Joe Treff, your Game Master for the evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Dan, Kara, Olive, and Ari. We're going to play Starfinder tonight in a nice light-hearted adventure, but before we get started, a couple of quick announcements. Let me turn the music down just a scooch. Very light-hearted music. A couple of ways that you can support this channel through bits and channel points. Bits are something that are Twitch's microcurrency. I actually have to re-enable, assuming that you guys survive this, the Mosaic rewards will be re-enabled. But at the moment, there are a couple of rewards that can be redeemed for bits that will immediately impact the story. Channel points you accumulate for free. Those you can use to impact the story in more long-term effects and in slightly more gradual ways. You can see descriptions for both of those down below. We are at AlbronRPG on Instagram. AlbronRPG.com is a website. And for both of those places, you can see some of the battlefields and things that we have in a little bit more detail, like this, which is where we're beginning this evening.
Yeah, there's a lot of context.
Yeah, you can see it, but it's really, seeing it from the side is the best way to see it. And you're going to be able to see it much closer on Instagram, at AlbronRPG. Tomorrow night, we're going to be playing Courts of Everest, which is our 5th edition D&D campaign.
And nothing is going wrong.
Nothing's going wrong. Hey, everybody's technically alive. And then the last week of July and the very first week of August, we are going to be on summer break. But there are going to be, each week, a single one-shot that is going to be in canon to Mosaic Team 5 or Adventures in Albron. So the first week there is going to be Camp Bright Cove, which is a 5th edition, or I can't remember which is which week anymore. One of the weeks there is going to be Camp Bright Cove, which is a 5th edition one-shot, which is set in a summer camp the day before the campers arrive. The counselors, who are all the players, will be setting things up before the first day, and nothing will go wrong. And then the second one-shot is a Starfinder one-shot where we will return to Aura's Bay and revisit some influencer characters for a summertime Miami Vice kind of chase. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Those are going to be the last week of July, first week of August. And we have a bunch of guests joining us, and that's going to be fun.
New friends!
And then we are going to be... Oh, no, last thing that I have is Sirenscape. Digital toolset that we use for music and sound effects. From everything like the tense industrial music that you can hear behind you to things like frantic knocks. Oop. Oh, that's not Sirenscape though. But things like the drums or the Wilhelm scream. All those kinds of things, Sirenscape. And with that, I can just get us into our recap. But I'm not going to use our theme song. We'll use a more suspenseful song. I feel like it's too upbeat for what we're getting into here.
Uh-oh.
Yikes.
That, I don't like that.
Not a good start.
I regret this already.
Everything is fine.
I'm too emotional. Oh, that's me.
Mosaic Team 5, last that we played. You looted an equipment shed full of mining equipment, divvying up the various things that you found there amongst yourselves. You progressed further into Mineshaft A, skirting damaged elements of the floor covered by steel plates, Gibbs, you spotting the way through very carefully. You eventually came to a wide canyon with a collapsed bridge and a Jacinto spider crane anchored to the rocky ceiling overhead. Bubs, you tethered yourself to the wall and flew, Shade, 30 feet up in a very familiar maneuver to one in a childhood game featuring an Italian plumber and a small green dinosaur. Shade leapt off of you, allowing you to fall into the abyss and jetting the rest of the way into the crane. Shade, you use the crane to ferry the rest of the party across with the walkway, landing in the section cleared away by the giant magical constructs, fiery thrusters. However, in a moment of woe, your communicators went off. Peep trying to call all of you to check in on your progress. This triggered the first spider to emerge from the cave next to the elevator, which in turn triggered Bubs to lob an incendiary grenade far off course, which alerted all of the spiders to your presence. You fought them, but it was Shade with a ceiling-mounted crane who saved the day by swinging an unfinished catwalk into the side of the cave, sealing the astral spiders off. After vanquishing the few who remained, you took the elevator down. Gibbs, it was about then at the bottom of this elevator that you arrived at with bodies strewn on either side of the rocky, very, very low ceilings, that you realized that this place called Siren might be more than just a name. There was an element to this place that did seem to call you, and as you thought about that, casting grave words on corpse after corpse, the very last one that you held said only your name. But you continued on. You pressed under a fallen element and into a much grander chamber, very similar to the one that you see before you. In fact, this exact one. You and Shade are the only two who made it all the way in. The rest of your companions on the exterior of this little squeeze space. You'll remember that mechanically you will need to squeeze through if you want to get through in a hurry. Gibbs, as you walked forward, you finally saw Crumbs, your cousin, who you've been searching for some time. In the same moment as you evaluated what to do, your cousin seeming a little different than you remembered him. His speech patterns different, his body emaciated. Spice, you cast Detect Thoughts and instantly registered that this entire room seemed to think. And Gibbs, you turned and hugged Shade, aware that this was almost entirely impossible to avoid some kind of consequence, regardless of your actions. But you chose to turn around and cast Time's Edge. And that is where we begin this evening. Give me one moment.
Alrighty.
And the way that we'll do this, Gibbs, you're going to start us off, but everybody else go ahead and roll for initiative. And Gibbs, you're starting at the very top.
So what exactly is Time's Edge?
Basically a rail gun where I rip through time in order to damage everything between me and a 150-foot line.
There's no kind of about that. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But it's like magic.
Yeah, I like
railgun.
rip the dimension open so I can like send a blade through it essentially.
Wow.
Yeah.
150 feet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a nice range.
Yeah.
It definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Second here.
Bad initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, so Gibbs, you are going to start us off. Anybody with a natural 20? Hang on one second here. Ooh, you guys are incredibly fortunate. Okay, so 25 to 20.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
20 to 15.
15.
16.
16 for Spice. 15 for Echo.
Calling this the black box
All
battle.
right. Do we have 15 to 10?
14. What did you get?
14 for
Almost
Bubs.
the lowest I can get.
Gibbs, where are you? Or no, Gibbs, you're up at the top.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, Gibbs.
I didn't roll.
Okay, so you said 11? Okay.
You got the big bed.
So the way that this works out,
It's not good.
Gibbs, you are starting us off, followed by Spice, followed by Echo, followed by Bubs, followed by Shade, and then at the very end with a natural one.
Wow.
This creature.
Woo! Nice. Low rolls all
Got
around.
extra lucky there.
So Gibbs, as your action,
Yes.
you cast Time's Edge.
Yes.
You wheel around, seeing this creature that you believe to be your cousin, Crumbs. This Yosoki, gaunt, two plastic bags hanging from their little Yosoki paws. You had just heard them say, Gibbs can do anything. Gibbs frees. Gibbs releases. And as he takes step after step, what are you doing?
So when I first cast it, I described it as casting it to the black box, like in a straight line, but it's missing. It's gonna miss Crumb. I
Okay.
want to keep that true. So I will sort of. I was holding Shade, looking over my shoulder, kind of assessing the situation, and then pretty impulsively casting this.
Okay.
So now that I can see the battle map, I want to cast it on this line,
Okay.
and that's gonna hit the edge of this, and probably the edge of this.
So like,
Yeah. To the right.
I see. So you want to sneak it by the support and just kind of glance the edge of it.
By this support into this.
I got you. So you're really trying to thread a needle here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
With the new visual that I have.
And that is a saving throw?
Yes, it's a reflex save.
Okay. Go ahead and make a mysticism check.
Sure.
And this is really about how finely you can thread this needle.
Great.
What are you trying to hit?
The black box. This is what I'm targeting.
Gibbs, for what it's worth, as you are doing this,
Yes.
you are throwing this straight by Crumb's shoulder,
Yeah.
straight by a support that right above Crumb's holds a massive steel walkway.
I believe in myself, and as I think that, and I don't know, whatever, it's 24.
Okay, no problem. So, what kind of save is that?
Sorry, that was my mysticism check to thread
Yep,
the needle,
yep,
and then
yep.
it's a reflex save to cast it. It will have it.
That is going to be 23.
That hits. It's a 23 reflex save?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on, so it's... Ooh, oh, wow, holy shit. 15, 19, 23, 33 plus 8 is 33 plus 8 is 41 plus 1 is 42 divided by 2. And that continues 100. It's going to damage everything in 120 feet.
Oh yeah, but Gibbs,
Yeah.
this was precise. And as you feel everything gathering around you and you can see your cousin, everything that has happened to you up until this point floods through your mind. The scab rats, all the way back to Rat King, and then even further back to the winter when you couldn't save everyone. And here's somebody starving again that you might, now with the bottle, be able to save. And you channel all of that and drive this spell straight through, and you see it go straight past Crumbs. So close that you can see the fur in this slight moment of illumination rippling past, and then it strikes whatever this containment field was and annihilates it. Give me 1 second.
Annihilates it.
So
Is
it's
that good or bad?
containment
Yeah, I don't
field?
know.
Yeah, I don't know what the containment field.
Has what inside? A wave? A black wave.
As this static field shatters, and you can see it's just hard light that just hits and dissipates onto the ground, this perfect sphere of black ooze that was kind of pulsing with every single thought that this entity released suddenly onto the ground and then rises up slightly. Anything else, Gibbs?
Yeah, so as the blades, I imagine they're just sort of like, they sort of appear as like basically a tear, like an incision in space happens, and then like little blades sort of like a bone kind of go through the space. I'm gonna follow my own spell and run after it as it like moves through the space.
Sure.
So in the wake of the destruction, I overcharge my hover skate, so I get an additional 10 to my movement.
Phenomenal.
So then I can get to Crumbs. Can you put me there? Right on the edge of whatever that thing is. And then free action can bond with him. Healer's bond. Oh shit, no. Oh no, it's not a standard. It's not a free action.
No
It's standard
worries.
action. But I will touch him by his shoulders and just sort of like, I got you, get out of there! And prep to healer's bond with him the next time I can.
No problem. So you rush over, the Healy's kicking in, and the gold glow suddenly becoming brighter and brighter as you overcharge them and like streak off. Your spell shatters all of these like stalactites and stalagmites, allowing you to coast through. And as you see the field shatter and this ooze just onto the ground, you reach Crumb. You yell this, and then we'll see what happens. But anything else, Gibbs?
Nope, that's
Alrighty.
full action.
Alrighty, Spice, what would you like to do? Echo, you are on deck.
So Spice obviously hears Gibbs, reaching out for Crumbs over there. Is like, look, all right, here we go. We're diving into it. And my question is, do I have to use her whole movement to get through the hole?
No,
Okay.
but you are going to take half of your movement going through it, and so
Okay.
yeah, you absolutely can.
Okay. So she is going to turn back around and go, guys, you better fucking hurry. And that was directed mostly at Bubbles. So, because I know Echo has a good movement speed, but
I can fly.
can you fly faster than you can move?
Can you fly faster than
No, I can. Actually, I can, but also because my walking is slow.
Anyways.
Okay, well, you get an extra move action,
Oh, nice.
and then she's going to squeeze through the hole.
Okay, no problem. So you tuck underneath and squeeze out. You have to like grab your hat and pull it back on. But no problem. Where are you ending up?
Do I get to choose?
It's anywhere within 10 feet of that like little area that Gibbs and Shade are at.
Well, I guess up here.
Okay, no problem. You kind of tuck yourself into the stalagmites. That is your turn, Spice. Echo, you are up. Bubs, you're on deck. Shade, you're in the hole.
2 questions.
Yes.
Question number 1.
You only get one. Just kidding.
one question.
It's a
per
standard action.
Platform is how high?
Each platform, so the lower level platforms, you would imagine, roughly like 10 to 15 feet at a glance. Looking at the other ones, probably about twice that high.
Okay.
The ceiling itself in this chamber, it goes up into the darkness for you and for Shade both.
Okay. So if it's half my movement,
Yeah.
to get through the little entryway there, if I were to dash, would it still be half of the dash?
Yeah, so your full movement is halved. So you can use, half of your dash. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like full action dash?
Yeah.
No. So you get, so you'll have half of your regular movement, and I think it's 3 times the rest of your movement.
So it's 5 times the regular movement.
Oh God.
Echo wants to get into place.
Call it
Yeah.
4.5 times to just make it easy.
Sweet. Can I, with my dash,
Yes.
climb ladders?
Yeah.
Sweet. I'm gonna climb a ladder.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why
gonna
the ladders
go
exist.
right there.
Jesus.
But and then just like kind of like slide down and like
What is the
duck
path
behind
that
her.
you're taking to get there?
Shoop, shoop, shoop.
What's this?
No problem. So you run up this ladder, really using your hands to like propel yourself up. Your feet almost don't even touch. And as you land at the top, you can see there is a massive, close to 15-foot long, badly corroded cannon of some kind. You can see Canosa underneath the rust slightly, but across that you can just continue to run. You go down the ramp, kind of sliding down, and you end up over on the other side. Where are you ending up, on the platform?
So I'm in the central platform here.
Gotcha.
You can kind of see it.
Perfect.
Hiding
There's like a little barrier right in
Yeah.
front of you from me.
I can't
Yeah.
see crumbs at all. I'm just
no
like
worries.
I'm assuming he's down there.
Yeah, and so guys, feel free to like move around to be able to see, because there is a lot of stuff happening here. So no worries. You rush over, you end up right there, you stop and you look, you can see down below this like black organism beginning to move. And in this moment, you can also see across the ground little elements, the mist that has coated everything begins to gather into that black ooze.
Do I have a free action to ping Shade?
Yeah,
There's a cannon on the upper level.
there you go. That is your turn. Echo. Bubs, what would you like to do? Shade, you're on deck, and then this creature.
Bubs. It's like kind of darkish in here, I imagine.
Yeah.
Bubs is probably going to see Echo being the last one out and probably try to follow her.
Okay.
I get 15 to get here to start, 'cause that's half mine. And then how high are these up?
That's about 30 feet up.
Okay, so then I fly up 30,
Okay.
and that's my entire movement.
Cool. So Bubbles, you see Spice is like, hurry up. Wait, you have 2 movements.
Oh yes. Actually, no. The better play would be 15, and then I can do a run action. Actually, no. If I get 30 up here, would I be able to do a perception check or pick this up? Actually, the cannon.
It is heavy, and so that is probably like an action to pick up.
Yeah. I have an action
Yeah,
forward.
absolutely, you could.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Sure, make this is an athletics check. This is similar in size, almost exactly, to your ship's cannon prior to it being peeled away, and so quite heavy.
I imagine Bubs gets up there and he trips over and he's like, "What's this?" That's a 10 plus what'd you say, athletics?
Athletics, yeah.
15.
15, you grab onto this thing and you try to hoist it, and you can bend it and twist it and rotate it, but you cannot lift it with that. This is heavy. This is, I mean, you're coming up on close to probably 800 pounds.
Okay. Would I be able to twist it on this little corner
You
right
absolutely can.
here? Yeah.
So you take it, you can't lift it, but you screech it along the metal. No problem.
I'm imagining Bubs is like kind of gonna use this little corner as like a pivot.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You can definitely try.
Yeah.
That is your turn. That is your turn, Bubs. Shade, what would you like to do?
How high up is this?
So that is about 30 feet, kind of similar to Dan's turn and also very similar to Echo's turn.
Cool. Okay. I'm gonna get up to here.
Okay. 30 feet, 13.
Can he also
30
lift the gun if he
feet,
wanted to? Can two people do that? Possibility.
As a team, yeah, you certainly could.
I'm more for this. I'm getting up there, and then I want to basically try to assess what we're dealing with, because this feels like we should get the fuck out of here. Like, there is an innate sense that something is off here.
So what are you
for
trying
sure.
to do?
I'm trying to, like, what just happened? What is this goo that's
Sense motive,
coming
the
out?
goo.
It's a life sciences check.
Life science. the
Unless there's
sex
something else that
motive.
you're trying to do.
Bubs is
No, I
in fight
think
mode.
that's it for that.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I'm worried about this gun pointed at crumbs.
That is a 19.
A 19. So with the 19, yeah, something is just kind of innately wrong. When you look at this organism that is kind of down and below, first of all, you look down and you can see like the elements of moisture crawling up Crumb's legs, beginning to gather around Crumb's, and much faster than around that other entity.
Around crumb?
Yes. But the one that is far back also seems to be approaching. And all of this stuff, this creature, when it finally gathers together, will probably be quite large.
Cool. Then, no
spells do I have left?
computer mechanics around, huh?
You can see a couple flickering LED bulbs that are the only things providing light scattered throughout here, and that's kind of it.
Cool. I guess I don't have anything for my exocortex to do.
I would say, now that you're up here, one of the bulbs kind of flickering and flashing way, way, way across the platforms, there is a crate, and you catch sight of a just brief flash of a white crane that is painted atop of it.
Okay. Cool. Is that within 30 feet of this thing?
You don't know.
Kinda looks like-
Close.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, anything else, Shade?
That's it.
All right, that brings us
Oh,
to this.
free action. I'm gonna say we need to retreat.
Okay.
Free action, ignore that.
Yeah.
Could I trade you for a pen for your pencil?
Yeah, sure. My pen actually, this is what happened to my pen just now, so
Okay.
that's great.
Here's a bunch of pens. I just need a pencil for my
yeah.
spell shots.
Cool. So no problem. That brings us to this creature's turn. So right down there at you're touching this creature,
This creature, I'm touching my cousin, Joe.
and it looks down to you, and though you can see intact eyes, Crumbs is not dead. There is something weird about the way that it looks at you, and it looks at you and it says, "Gibbs, fix us. Gibbs, make us whole." And then you see this goo gather and gather. Give me one moment. Should I pull Crumbs off the board?
Oh
Oh, no.
No.
Oh no!
Is this one going?
What? In
No.
the heck?
This thing isn't whole yet.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Why does it have eyes everywhere?
Gibbs, the moisture gathers and gathers and crawls up Crumb's
Wow,
arms.
gnarly.
You can
How
see
can
it
I
goes up
retreat?
the legs, becoming this black ooze, and the bones gather into the mass as well. And you see like skulls and arms and all different elements twisted up into this organic mass. And as it rises up and up, you can see it's like this huge thing yawning open with Crumbs sticking out almost like a tongue from a mouth. And you could see Crumbs looks at you and just says, "We'll be whole." And then right over top, and this creature is just a roiling mass of black ooze and eyes and bones. And it is going to move.
Ugly.
So
Crawling up up onto this and then down. But as it does, Echo
Okay.
is going to take an attack on you.
No!
Can I take an attack of opportunity?
You can, yes.
And can my attack be... I want to, around the, like, whatever the ceiling of, like, you know, Crumbs' hips or, like, whatever it is, I want to try and, like, attack that seam and try and, like, sever it a little bit more.
Okay, make an attack roll.
With the intention being to get Crumbs out of the bullshit.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. I never do these good because it's, like, 11 or some shit.
Echo, 37.
Why did you even ask?
I mean, that's not super far off. The thing is, Starfinder...
Okay,
you can
there's
get it pretty
Bubs,
high.
and then there's Echo. Echo's got a
There's Bubs
17.
and then the rest of them.
Hercules,
Echo.
No.
You are taking
No.
37 points of
What?
bludgeoning damage. And can you please go ahead and make a will saving throw, please?
No!
Freak now.
We didn't finish our bounty, man.
I think we can safely assume
Where's
Okay,
Gravedigger?
the
Okay.
tombstone
Will?
is probably
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, okay. So, this thing, as it rushes over and it slams into you, its mass writhing out like a pseudopod, and just, it almost overwhelms you. And as it rolls across you, you can feel these little teeth biting and snapping and ripping elements away from your organic parts and your mechanical parts. And then right as it crosses over from the other side, you feel little elements of these dark, tiny organisms trying to wriggle and writhe into your body, trying to penetrate into your mouth and nose, and you are able to just force them away by sheer effort of will. And you can almost hear this creature as it goes across, but it into the bottom, and you watch. Now you can pull that other one off as this just absorbs that inky element, and it grows larger and it looks much bigger. And in this moment, it turns again and it just says, Gibbs, you can free us. You can do anything, Gibbs. We can help you. And that is its turn. That brings us to Gibbs.
So now I understand the challenge, right? Gibbs gets it. Gibbs starting to understand. Or she thinks she understands. It joined with this thing, and that made it more powerful.
Seems to.
Okay. Gibbs is gonna kind of basically follow in turn.
It's still there.
But instead of skittering up, obviously up and over, she's just gonna skitter under
Okay.
and continue to follow Crumb.
Okay, so you just dash underneath. This black ooze is like dripping from the top of the grates, falling through the elements of metal, but you shrug that off and just pop out on the other side. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm gonna. That's my movement. I'm gonna say, yeah, I freed you. I can fix this. I can fix this. I can fix this. And I'm going to try and detach Crumbs from. Do I think it's enough to detach, or can I perceive in some way the most effective way to solve the problem of getting Crumbs to remove from this thing?
As an action, you can make a medicine or life sciences check.
I will. So I will do that. I'll keep following and do medicine probably.
Yeah, go for it. So you rush after him, dropping through the ooze that might be Crumbs.
17.
With your little Yosoki paws, you trying to pat at it, and you just like your arms pass through. But as you say, I can help you, I can fix this, suddenly parts of it just pull away, and you can see Crumb's face once more. And the mouth opens up, and it says, good, but the others I will eat. And it turns, and it just moves. But suddenly, Gibbs, all these little elements that were on you just fall off.
Oh, great. I don't feel good about that.
Anything else, Gibbs?
No, but I'm definitely trying to keep track of the Crumbs and the bullshit, right? Like,
Okay.
any, like, time that Crumbs' face sort of passes in the, like, inky blackness, like, that's gonna draw my
As the
attention.
inky blackness swirls around, you imagine Crumbs is almost like this entity's heart.
Yeah.
And so it just kind of sits roughly at the center. But that is your turn, Gibbs.
Yeah.
Spice, what would you like to do? Echo, you're on deck.
Spice is gonna go, whoa, disgusting! And seeing that Gibbs, everybody kind of burst off into their own direction, Spice is just gonna follow Gibbs, because she's like, Gibbs is up there! by herself. Like, what? And as the only minor healer, but I can't move that far, so I'm gonna start tapping through the water or whatever that is right there after Gibbs, but I can't get that far. But she's gonna rub her hands together while she's running and go, I hope this works. Clap them together and cast Daze on this gigantic creature.
Okay, and so what is that? What kind of save is it, sorry?
Oh no.
Yes,
I just remembered something.
What did you remember? You have to make a will saving throw.
A will saving throw?
Yep.
As you cast Daze, it right back and away from you, and you feel as if this creature significantly more powerful than you in that realm, and that is just pushed right away. It seems immune to will saving throws.
Wow. Okay, so she's like, she feels her telepathy just get bounce back into her.
Make a free perception check.
Okay.
And Gibbs had also told you that her spell got bounced back, which was also I think a
let's see. So perception gonna be 16.
In that moment, as this right back over you, you step back because at your feet you hear these little bubbles pop, and you look down. This pond is very small, but it's quite deep. And down at the very bottom, you see a huge mechanical figure. You also see, in a small bubble of this dark organism, keeping it insulated and safe, a further Yosogi in freebooter armor, emaciated, just looking agonized. And as this spell is back against you, it's like this creature sucks and becomes drier still, almost like it's being used as a battery. But you stand at the edge of the pond. Anything else, Spice?
Spice just starts perspirating in horror.
Fair enough.
Perspirating in horror.
That's a free action. Echo, what would you like to do? Bubs, you're on deck.
Yep.
For flavor, Echo stands up.
Okay, there you go.
And kind of looks down at their arm, which is the outer biological layer has just been stripped away, and it's just some mechanical components and some wiring that's just sparking. They try to pull themselves together a little bit, crouch behind the barrier there, unfold the hail pistol from its grip, and attempt to sneak a shot around the side.
Yeah, go ahead and make your stealth check and then your attack roll.
Okay. Stealth. Attack. Well, for a stealth, that's a 35.
Okay. And that's CR plus 15?
But CR 20 plus CR plus 20.
CR plus 20? That succeeds.
For some reason, Starfinder doesn't want me to ever make a trick attack.
Yeah, no, but that succeeds.
I mean, that succeeds.
Yeah.
But does an 18 hit it?
No.
Didn't think so.
So from the hidden vantage point, so hidden are you that you don't have a shot, and it just fires wide and goes straight into the wall. Anything else? Echo.
Nope, that's their full action.
All right. As you pull to fire, it's like your arm almost gives way, and you have to pull it back on and manually re-snap elements together. But that is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Bubbles. Shade, you're on deck.
Bubs hears kind of what Shade is saying on the comms as he's has his gun in his hand, but he's too busy repeating the mantra in his head. The darkness is the greatest teacher on how to find the light. And he just keeps repeating that over and over and over. And having seen the light that Gibbs just shot, he imagines that's where the light has to go.
Okay.
So he's going to fire the gun. And how he's going to do it is he's going to brace the gun on a little bit on the corner between the two sides of the catwalk where it meets the corner, and then also use his jetpack to push it back for the recoil.
Okay, very, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to say the very first element of this is an athletics check. And this is really, as you tilt it down, to not have the weight of this gun just drag you over.
Yeah, and I imagine that I'm going to use the jetpacks to help me with that.
Yeah. But the jetpacks are mostly, that's really for recoil. This is, if this works, this is a very corroded weapon. this is going to be quite the recoil.
Gonna knock you the fuck off this
I mean,
platform.
I
If there's
believe in
anyone
you.
to fall over from recoil
Yeah.
in comedy, that's Bubs.
I believe in you.
That's an 8.
That's an 8.
Plus what?
Plus my range.
Athletics?
Oh, athletics.
Isn't he an athletic?
Yeah, this is an athletic check to start. This
I
is
was
the
like, yeah,
tilted
you're
not
not
gonna
good
get
at
over.
That is a 13.
A 13? Okay. So you go, and this
Whatever.
starship weapon, you're like, okay, I got this. In the darkness, that is how we find our light. And you strain, and to your amazement, you hear it creak and tilt. And as you square, and you can see this creature go right into the sight, suddenly, it drops over the edge.
Yeah.
And you are pulled over the edge with it. Now, you do have your jetpack, or your jetpack, so are you using your flight to just, like, let go of it and stay up there?
How heavy can I feel this is?
You have no idea, but heavy enough that you couldn't lift it twice.
Are my feet touching the ground at this point? If I could, like, no.
No.
Okay.
What are you doing? You're falling.
Is the cannons down here?
Yeah.
You too. Go ahead and make a reflex saving throw.
Wait, what?
Make
Oh no, I was asking, is the cannon down here?
Yes,
Yeah.
and so
Okay.
are you, because you're taking a long time.
Oh no, I'm gonna drop it then.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You drop
I
it.
just wanted to know.
So go ahead, put Bubs up at the top.
Yeah.
This thing down to the bottom, and doesn't bend in half. In fact, as it lands, perfectly flat, doesn't warp, doesn't twist, natural 20, still intact.
Gun's reflex save was good.
Yeah, I mean, I did.
Good
It is a
reflexes,
reflex
gun.
save, but it was really whether or not it was going to break
Has a
from dropping that
hardness.
high.
I thought the
Anyways.
big cannon was the big hole in the ground was there.
That's the pool.
That is the
That's
pool,
all,
and in
okay.
there is the golem and
Yeah, okay.
tombstone, presumably. So that is your turn, Bubs. That brings us to Shade, and then this creature.
Looking down, do I see the golem now too? Like if I'm looking over the edge here.
The only reason that Spice can see it is
'cause
because they're so
she's, like,
close,
right
and like
against
yeah, that
Okay.
reacted to the magic.
Cool. So I would like to, and I don't know because it doesn't say if it's an action or anything. It's just a feature now that my exocortex has. I have audio-visual recording
Yep.
and the capability of communicating with the ship over a encrypted channel up to 5 miles.
Yep.
I'd like to open up a channel with the ship
Yeah, no problem.
and try to basically get information from the ship and get it to prepare for a tactical retreat. So I'm gonna basically like ping to the ship. I don't know if
Super,
that's-
super cool. Yeah, you absolutely can. So I'm going to say to do all of that, just to establish an uplink, no problem, that's free. But to then like communicate to the director and say, hey, look up
Right.
this ship, and then to like pull that data back, even though it is computers and the infosphere, that probably that's like a full action.
Yeah. So it has access to its data sets and transponder.
Oh, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
transponder doesn't matter.
For sure. So is that what you're doing?
So I'm gonna do that for my action. You said.
Yeah.
Okay. Or
To do all of that, that's like a full action, because that's 6 seconds to establish an uplink, communicate all of this to the director, query the infosphere and other related databases, and then have it bounce back to you.
can I then use my move action to target lock this thing? As
Full
like,
action.
well, because
Oh, your
'cause it's
exocortex action.
Yeah, the move
that's
action.
fine. Yeah, that
Okay.
makes sense to me.
Yeah, so like locking onto it and then being like, send
Yes.
us
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anything that
Absolutely.
you can find to deal with this. We're planning a tactical retreat.
So your exocortex spins into life as you lock onto this. The video link goes live, and you beam this directly over to the director, and you ask for any information on this. Go ahead, make. You know what? Actually, the director one. Agriculture strike.
And then free action over all the comms. We need to retreat.
So as the image goes back to the director, and you feel this like query explode out into the infosphere, the response is: this is a primanism, a collective organism that will grow stronger and more intelligent as it collects more organisms to it.
Can I also transmit that to the
Yeah.
rest of the team as a
No
free
problem.
action?
That goes out. I would say the director would also tell you that they are immune to effects from magic when tethered to magic users. So,
Effects from magic. Fuck!
And that is your turn, Shade. That
Okay,
brings
get
us
the
to
fuck
this
out of there.
creature.
We need to retreat now.
Do you give the magic-y part out?
All
The
of it,
creature
yeah.
turns around, this huge mass twirling and writhing, and Gibbs, you can see it directly in front of you, and this opening, and you can see Crumbs yet again. And Crumb says, "Finish us. I will finish them." And then suddenly, just kind of disappears. And I think, seeing as how the most noise is being made by Bubs, is its movement speed. Yeah.
Finish me.
Does it,
Cannon.
does it hear me on the
Am
bottom?
I
or
gonna
the top?
die because it just floods over me? Is
Oh,
that what's
yeah.
going on?
Is it going after the gun because it landed?
The gun made the noise.
Made the
So
noise.
this is going to
But then Bub's like,
it
Wait,
Make it
but
all the
that goes
way.
35 points of hidden. Or something. Like, she's real
So-
fucking hidden.
this creature just over, and for what it's worth, you get the sense, Echo, as it climbs right over you, that this is a climb speed, as it just oozes up the support and onto the steel and moves. It is going to take an attack. However, one thing that you do note, it seems like whatever that attack was has diminished it slightly. It can't do that like every turn.
Thank goodness.
The unfortunate aspect
Of
is,
course.
as it pulls up, you can see the last elements of that little dark creature into it. And suddenly, you begin to hear in your mind just these little tiny whispers. And they just say, "Give up, join us, come." And there is an aura that is now emanating out.
From
anybody
me
who-
or from it?
From it.
Okay.
Anybody who either starts or moves into this creature's space, which is 20 feet, there is an effect that is now very strongly shimmering through the air. It's almost like the creatures that are part of the moisture in the atmosphere are like being called to it now. But
Stars?
its attack roll is going to be... That is a 36 to hit.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So cool. Bye, y'all.
Yeah, bye.
Oh man,
Bye,
this
y'all.
is so much less damage than it's supposed to be. So much less, but I rolled so well. That is going to be 23 points of bludgeoning damage as it
We need to get you
into
some
you.
serious heavy
And
armor.
can you make a will saving throw, please?
So
I'm still up. I'm not up.
oh boy.
Whoa, that one.
Nat one. Ooh, rough.
Bye,
You
y'all.
are no. It's okay. As this like hits you hard, and these screams just go across you, and you can hear these voices whispering to you. You could hear the miner Wilkes Booth, who from like within this space just goes, "It isn't so bad," and all these different voices like calling out to you and telling you to join. You are flat-footed.
No. Wait.
You can't be flat.
I can't be flat-footed.
Oh, look at that.
Can
Then
androids
you
not
shake that off. As that is happening and this kind of like overwhelms you, you shrug through this sound. That is its turn. That brings us to the top of the round, Gibbs.
Echo looks like absolute shit.
So Gibbs feels that because she never got a chance to lifelink with Crumbs. So Gibbs would still feel the lifelink with Echo
Barely.
and
Starting to feel more like
starts to have to reconcile what actually can be saved here, like what can be salvaged from this horrible situation. So free action lifelinks, you get 7 points of hit points. Gibbs takes 7 damage. Gibbs is gonna skitter, and I can't move Gibbs, so someone has to move her, into kind of the puddle because she can't see the monster from where she is at.
Okay.
So just put her in the middle of the puddle because I can get there with my movement speed.
Okay.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you want me to do.
What are you doing, Gibbs?
How am I gonna help
What are you doing,
I'm
Gibbs?
saying that
Okay,
out
okay,
loud
okay.
to the monstery beast,
get back.
and I'm gonna pull out a gun, and it'll be my caduceus.
You don't have that
staff.
anymore.
You give away
give
all
away
of
all
your
of my
good
good
weapons.
And then you never remember that you give them away.
I have them. I'm
You
sure. I
reach
have a
into your
flare
vest
gun.
and you pull out a old banana, and you're like, shit. You throw it down. You reach in, you grab out your flare gun.
Damn. I
17 plus
you didn't pull
6.
your guns.
I mean, what are you shooting at?
I'm shooting a flare at this guy.
At that guy.
Yeah.
What was their full roll?
17 plus 6 is 23 to hit.
That is a
with
miss.
23 with a flare?
As you pull and you fire at the flare, it goes dead center, and you watch as it, and you are about to hit Crumbs right in the face with the flare, and almost instinctively you reach out and you can feel the bottle almost pulse, and then that little like bolt of flare just ticks to the side, and you miss Crumbs, and it goes wide. But this is quite a powerful creature. Anything else, Gibbs?
Just looking around for objects to telekinetically, I don't have a good gun, so like to like yoink
Yeah,
at
sure.
it. So that's
There is rubble and bones everywhere.
Great.
All right, that's your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to Spice and then Echo. Spice, what would you like to do?
Spice looks down, sees Tombstone, looks up, sees Gibbs, looks down, sees Tombstone, looks up, sees Gibbs. She's like, money, friends, money, friends, money, friends. And then she unhooks her sniper from behind her back, points the scope, the heart-shaped blue scope,
There you go.
at this creature, and fires away.
Yeah, make your attack roll.
It doesn't matter. Oh, nice.
Ooh.
Okay. 18. Oh, fuck. 23 doesn't hit, does it?
23 does not hit, unfortunately.
I rolled an 18 for everybody, but...
And so
I only
as
have
you
+5
fire,
speed.
it almost hits, but then this creature, again, just seems to be able to move and react. And Spice, you know that this entire room seems alive. It can probably feel this bullet before it even leaves the gun. And so it's like reacting to that. That's part of its AC. But that is your turn in Spice.
Yeah, I'll stay where I am.
Alrighty. Echo, what would you like to do?
You haven't
This
told us about
creature.
Tombstone, right?
Okay, so free action, I guess. Spice is going to...
Shit, I missed. And also Tombstone's here.
Yeah. Well, in that whole moment where she's like looking down, she's
Yeah.
like, I see Tombstone, I see Gibbs, I see Tombstone, I see... So she's just yelling that through the comms.
No problem. So you scream that out through the comms, and Echo right next to you, this creature, and it seems like it's intent towards like Bubs and Shade's direction. However, you would imagine as it's hit you every time it gets close, it probably could do so again when it leaves.
Yep. Echo is going to grab the which one is it called? The Mirage Dagger.
Okay.
And I'm just checking rules to see if I get a bonus.
Okay.
Using so okay, it's got the feint tag,
Okay.
which when using this weapon to feint, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to your bluff check. Is that including a trick check?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Echo has the hail pistol in one hand and the Mirage Dagger in another,
Awesome.
and is like aiming the hail pistol and like sneaks up with the dagger to get the beastie.
Very cool.
So that's the bluff. Bluff attack. I mean, you know, that's a 19 for the bluff, and a 19 for the attack. So neither of those hit.
No,
But
unfortunately.
because I have uncanny mobility
Right.
and I called the target before I attacked,
Mm-hmm.
I don't get attack of opportunity when I leave a space.
Oh,
There you go. So as you're moving, where are you going?
That's
I'm going that way.
How far can you go?
50 feet,
So yeah, right behind that rock.
right there.
So you rush away as you pull the pistol out and you are about to fire. You see the creature out of the way and you swing, and it's still able to dodge out of both of those attacks. And so you.
And to play by the rules, you mentioned something about when a creature starts its turn in its aura.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a will save.
Okay.
Actually, no, because you're immune.
Oh, is that the flat-footed
That's the
thing?
flat-footed thing. Yeah,
Cool.
you're fine. No problem. So you fail, you succeed. It doesn't matter. You're not flat-footed. So that is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Bubs.
Bub's not hearing again Shade's command as the gun falls down and makes a loud clanging noise. He's gonna say in the comms, Shade, help me with this gun. I need you to help me with it. He's gonna jump down.
No.
Attack of opportunity, Shade.
And what Bub's
Free
is
action,
gonna do
backhand,
is can I make my move and my action to just pick up the barrel of it? And maybe like get any other increase to the chances of picking up just the barrel with like the jetpack? Because I'm just trying to put all my energy and just aiming it towards the barrel.
And then like next turn firing it?
Maybe if Shade helps me, if he hopefully.
Yeah, you can definitely try. No problem.
Okay.
Go ahead and make an athletics check.
And this is the barrel, so I imagine the most of the weight isn't on the barrel.
You have no idea.
Okay.
This is.
Oh, natural 20!
Yes. Your foot hits the trigger.
Bubs, you have the stupidest natural 20s in this whole game.
I love it.
So you jump up, and as like you hear Shay just go, "We need to," clang. You completely lose whatever he says, and you're like, "You're right. We need to get the gun." You leap down. You slam down, superhero landing, and using the momentum that you would normally like roll forward on, you grab under the gun and you like skid forward. Your feet dig into the ground, and you hoist this up. And with that same momentum, you like jam it on your shoulder. You feel like a crack and like a pop. It's heavy, and like your whole back strains. But you have this now rested on your shoulder. It is like tilting and like back and forth. And so, with somebody's help, you could certainly fire this at this speed. That is your turn, Bubs. That brings us to Shade. Shade, what would you like to do? Then this creature goes.
Gonna free action. Calm again to everyone. Spice, help Echo and get Gibbs out of here. Bubs and I will hold this off. And then drop down.
Reaction ignore.
Then I'm going to use another new thing, Miracle Worker.
Very nice.
Whoa.
I can grant a +2 enhancement bonus to a weapon's attack and damage rolls for 1 minute.
Yeah.
As a move action.
That sounds fucking dope.
And then I'm gonna shoot at it with the...
Well, wait. So sorry. 1 second. So you drop down.
Yeah, because it's a free action to drop, right?
I mean, yes. Okay. Yeah. I'll allow that. That's fine. And you have retro thruster, so you're not going to take damage on that. No problem. Yeah. Cool.
Part of the natural 20 is the magic of this working.
No. I think rules is written, not that the giant cannon rules is written. But
I think it... Okay.
Yeah.
So then, Miracle Worker on the ship gun.
Okay.
And then gonna shoot at it.
So you grab this ship gun, and as you hold onto it in your hands, this is a Canosa high-intensity laser destroyer. A child laser, if you will. And so this thing, massively powerful, but very badly corroded, and you can see several areas disconnected such that this would have overheated and probably exploded in a very powerful way had you just shot it off carelessly, like an idiot. And so instead, you very quickly, with like incredibly dexterous hands, your fingers reconnect some, there are compartments that open, and like small tools reconnect others, and all of a sudden, the entire cannon like powers up, and you can see the plasma fill the interior chamber, and suddenly 10 feet around you there is bright red light. And if you want, that is Miracle Worker's what, an action?
Move action.
Oh, phenomenal. Yeah, so if you want, you can use your action to make an attack roll.
Cool. I'm gonna go with... does that count as a ranged weapon?
This is a heavy weapon.
Okay.
Yes, a heavy ranged weapon.
Let me see. I do have proficiency. Oh no, it's heavy armor, not heavy weapons. Okay, so I don't have proficiency with it.
Take picture.
That's okay.
Yeah, definitely get a picture.
You worked so hard on that. I
Wait,
hope it stays
I
forever.
think
You'll see it on the Instagram.
I can...
At Alberon RPG.
Yeah, we'll do that next turn. All right, so I'm firing at this thing.
Okay.
This is gonna be 21.
21 is a miss. No!
Wow.
And as this explodes out.
+2,
23.
23.
Still a miss.
Does it hit the catwalk?
No. As part of your natural 20, you aimed it well. And so it like fires, and you can see it would hit completely straight on, but it like opens up, and you see Crumbs is like, his body like yawns out of the way, and the laser like scorches up. It doesn't hit him, but you can see like the fur is singed, and it goes straight out, and as it hits the wall behind, there is a massive explosion similar in terms of power to Gibbs's Time Edge spell. And suddenly that just closes, and you feel all the moisture in that section just sucked out of the air, and just little powder of ice just falls to the ground. Anything else, Shade?
Can I? I don't know if there's any electronics, but can I like attempt to use my exocortex to?
Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Okay, then yeah, that's it.
That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to this creature.
Electronics.
So this creature, seeing you drop down and take a shot at it, is going to rush
Do you see how beautifully?
and then drop straight down right there. And so as you miss, and this creature splits, and you see crumbs like yawning out, it's like the two split ends wrap around the catwalk, and then pull it around the catwalk, and then it drops, splitting all the way and falling right in front of you and Shade. Gibbs, only 15 feet away, this whole creature slams down. And as it does, you can see it definitely takes care to fall on this side and not the other one closer to you. It is mindfully not damaging you at the moment. But it turns to
Mindfully damaging us.
you, Shade, and it says, "Must grow, must stop." And it rises up, and it's going to attack. Shade, that is going to be...
It's gonna hit. Is it gonna be
38?
Yeah, that's a hit.
And yeah, I mean, like Starfinder, I use Hephaestus. This is they roll high, these monsters. That is going to be as it has regathered its strength. Unfortunately, that is going to be 36 points of bludgeoning damage. Can you make a will saving throw, please? And then at the end of its turn, if you could make another will saving throw, please.
Alright, I'm just gonna do, I'll do them both. Well, actually, one. Yeah, that's gonna be a failure.
What is it?
It's a 10.
A 10. Yeah, that is a failure. Unfortunately,
Do I need
you
to
are
make the
flat-footed.
second one?
No.
Okay.
No, you're not. Flat-footed. So, sorry. Yes, you do. But it is because as this hits you and you fail that first will saving throw, it strikes into you, almost crushing you into the ground, and you feel these small organisms penetrate into the circuitry and into the biological organisms that kind of make up your android body, and you take 1 negative level.
What?
One negative level.
In Starfinder,
What the fuck does that
a
mean?
negative level is something that sticks onto you, and there are ways that you can get rid of them, but you take -1 to all ability checks, all saving throws, basically everything.
So
until
it's
you
basically
do so.
like exhaustion.
It's worse than exhaustion.
It's
If
-1
your
to
negative
everything.
levels exceed your character level, which is 5, you die.
7.
7.
Then you die. For what it's worth. So that slams into you. Make another will saving throw, please, for the end of your turn, as you are now in its aura.
Ooh. A little bit.
That's all I need to know.
I mean, no.
From like down on the ground,
No.
Shad's like
And how's about another 10?
another 10. That is a failure. You are now flat-footed. So that is its turn, and as it finishes slamming down, you can see elements of this like ooze splashes across
Am I
the floor,
prone
and it has
now,
to
too?
slowly. No, you're not. It has to slowly gather itself back up, and so it is not able to make that attack on successive turns. But that is its turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Gibbs. This creature slams into Shade. Shade is like badly hurt. You can see Echo off to the side, lifelink blinking. What do you want to do?
So Gibbs realizes that she's in a pickle. That all of her friends who usually do a lot of damage for her and herself not being able to do any damage right now are in a pickle, and she's been hearing the like passive bullshit from Shade, starts to reckon with the glimmer of truth there. So looks at Spice, and you can see like the tears just starting to like pour over.
Talon redeemed a wheel.
Yes. And I don't think I can save crumbs. But looks down. Is Tombstone at E. She's gonna try and save Tombstone. So but I want to combine my turn.
Did you see Tombstone?
Yes.
Spice yelled out.
With Spices, thinking that Spice is gonna help me because she heard the last thing from Shade.
Uh-huh.
So she's giving up on crumbs
Okay.
and going to dive into the water.
Okay.
That's move action.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
Is it water?
You dive. Do you have a swim speed?
Okay, good.
I'm a rat.
I thought it was
I can doggy paddle. I don't know.
So you doggy paddle a little bit. You're in the water, kind of like swimming over there. Are you gonna like dive down?
Yeah, I'm like.
So you into this and going down and down. The water itself is about 20 feet deep.
Okay.
And so to get down to him is about 15 feet. So I think if you don't have a swim speed, I'd have to double check and see what that is.
I don't have a swim speed, and my bones are real light.
Yeah. So probably not a ton of
You're
movement.
alright, you can't swim.
If you could look that up, that would be great. But for the time being, we'll say you get down to the bottom part for your turn.
Cool.
And so down at the very bottom, you get to this organism. It's like a very thin black film of this dark creature. And it is formed a bubble around Tombstone. And you can see Tombstone is emaciated. The freebooter armor like hanging over its body. The bones like loose in the skin.
And I'm gonna look at the golem who I know is here because I can see him glowing.
Yeah.
And say, you know what? I'm gonna use my action because I'm gonna touch him.
Okay.
Can I touch him?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna try and mind link with the golem.
Okay.
Which hasn't been super successful before, but just sort of, and like I'll use my words as well at the same time. Be like, this is your master. I understand that we need to save him. Help me get him to the ship, and I will help you with an oil can.
It seems to wash right over this entity that does not really have a mind.
Cool. But I use my voice too.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No.
And so your air escapes, and you're beginning to lose a lot of your oxygen. You're underwater.
Oh, I can use my movement. Am I in hazardous circumstances?
No.
Okay, then I can use my. It can move its full swim speed when it takes a move action to move its speed. So my swim speed is my move speed.
Oh, great.
So
Fantastic.
I get to the ground.
You can right down to the ground, and as you like go, you can kind of like reach and grab onto this like orb. It feels kind of like numbing, like it might hurt you. You probably need to damage it to release this creature.
Okay.
That is your turn.
You're not bleeding. You didn't take damage. You're farther than 30 feet. Yeah, I'm good.
Gibbs, that is your turn. Spice, what would you like to do? Echo, you are on deck. Spice, right in front of you. Gibbs, right into the water.
Spice, a little bit shocked from Gibbs's proclamation. She goes, well, A, she's speechless, but thinks to herself, she's like, wasn't expecting that. Watching Gibbs dive into the water, she's gonna look up at Shade, who is dying in front of her, and go, like, taking a sharp breath, and then you're within range, so she's gonna go, hurry, get out of there! Grant you an extra move speed. And then think about her fucking gill sheath that she has the augmentation for, and go, really fucking would have come in handy right now, and then dive into the water after Gibbs.
Alrighty, so you splash into the water after yelling out to Shade, and you can see as the water like fills your eyes and your eyes adjust, Gibbs at the bottom, both little paws like scratching away at this like film that is around this other Yosoki. You make your way down towards the bottom. That is your turn, Spice.
Yep.
Echo, what would you like to do? Followed by Bubs, followed by Shade.
So those two are going after Tombstone?
Seems to be. They vanish beneath the waves.
All right.
Waves, water.
Well, Echo doesn't want to shoot down there. Echo's going to climb down the ladder and get basically where the spice, where the little like rock things are there.
Okay.
They're going to supercharge their weapon
Okay.
and aim into the water where Spice mentioned the golem was.
No problem. So you aim down to the water. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
That's a 21.
And so you're aiming for the golem?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a hit.
Okay. Hold while I just quickly remember how many extra dice I get with supercharge. Many extra dice. Okay. So that's 6, 9, 15, 17 points of cold and piercing damage to the golem.
Okay. So you fire, and it through the water, and from where you are and where Gibbs is, you see this little element of ice just pierce through and streak through, and it ding right off this like golem. It deals damage. The golem is harmed and is already pretty badly damaged, and you can see the golem just kind of shifts slightly, the water displaced, and it seems to almost try to protect Tombstone from that. Still up, still fine.
Because Tombstone's the...
Anything else, Echo?
Echo doesn't have any movement. Can't break up movement. No.
Bubbles, what would you like to do? Shade, you're on deck.
Right at this point, I know it's an incline. You said this was 30 feet. What is this point for height? Is this 10 feet below? More? Could I get up there?
That platform is 15 feet up.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to attack, and then I'm going to jump back up to there.
Okay, so make your attack roll. What are you attacking with?
I'm going to drop this free action,
Okay.
and then pull out my Dothco and as a swift action and start wailing away at it.
Yeah, go ahead and make your attack roll.
I believe in you.
As you
Bascos
say,
are
cry.
cool.
There's a... Yeah.
There's a 17 plus 11 is 18, 28.
28?
Yep.
That will hit.
Yay!
Oh my god,
At
finally.
least the 28 hits.
God.
Nice. Duck.
I have to get a 19 or higher.
Well, natural 20 hits, so you know you can always do it.
I have to get a 19 or
What
higher.
a chance to hit though.
3 and 7, so
Fucking
10.
Becker over here.
Plus 15.
We're gonna buy dice.
25.
25. Okay. And what kind of damage?
So the Dothco has a sharp part on it, and then I imagine it's like a big hammer on the other end.
Yeah.
So could I attack with either side if I wanted
sure.
to? Like bludgeoning. Okay. This seems like something that would probably bludgeoning damage would be it.
Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. So you deal 17 points of bludgeoning damage. Let me add that all up. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, I need to add mine.
You slam into this creature using your Dothco as you drop this huge laser, which to the ground. And finally, as you swing overhead and swing this back down, you slam it into this creature, and it's not able to part out of the way. You dig a huge chunk out, and as it hits, there are like bones and the elements, like this mouth that was snapping away, falls and just becomes like dust on the ground, essentially. It begins to reconstitute and like gather more elements back up, but that definitely hurts it. Anything else, Bubs?
That's my turn.
Alrighty, that is your turn, Bubs. Up, bring. Oh, sorry. Go ahead and make a will saving throw at the end of your turn.
Oh yeah. That's cocked. That's a natural one.
You are flat-footed.
3 natural.
As this creature is so close to you, and as you get close and you hit it, you can hear all these different mouths within, and they just say, "Join us. You can have friends. We're all here." And then all these different things are just calling into you. But you become flat-footed as you like take a step back. You are overwhelmed by that. That is your turn, Bubbles.
Yep.
Shade, what would you like to do? Then this creature.
So I'm gonna use one of my movement actions to do a defensive, whatever
Guarded step?
Guarded step, yeah. Guarded step. Boop. And then move back to here, behind this.
Okay. I can actually see better on the monitor than I can on the table because of my thing. So,
continue to free action. Implore everyone to get the fuck out of here.
Oh, sorry, my comms don't work in the water.
you just like set it on loop.
Yeah.
We need to escape. We need to escape.
And so I know that there are no computer devices within it, right?
Correct.
But I have my own exocortex, which is a computer device.
Yeah.
I would like to use my exocortex for distracting hack.
Okay.
You are distracting
What? Yourself?
Yes.
I love it. I'm here.
So it's a feint action.
Yeah.
So
That's smart. I like that.
I like it. The hard drive just goes click, 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 click.
Yeah. The fans just got.
well, actually, no. It has to make a save, right? Because it's a feint action.
No strategy, only emotion.
What kind of a check?
10% chance of ever hitting this thing.
Yeah.
It's
Contested by insight.
Yes, contested by insight. Computer
22.
check. 22? 23.
Hey, there you go. Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jay's MVP of
So
this fight.
it is now flat-footed itself.
Can an ooze be flat-footed?
It cannot.
Then
That's
No.
multiple feats.
it is not affected, and I will make a piddling regular shot.
Shade, you distract to hack your own exocortex, your mouth opens. Ah. For some reason, this doesn't seem to distract.
I wish
This
we were
entity.
above water to witness that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Echo's like
Blackmail.
making a note in their like files for everyone about how like Shade might be malfunctioning
Yeah.
more than we were.
Worse than you thought. All right, go ahead.
Just the sound of seagulls.
And regular old piddling shot.
There you go, piddling shot.
Ooh, 28.
28, that hits. There you go. Very nice.
Right.
Get that 4 points of damage in.
It's gonna be like at least
5.
it's yeah, it's
thing's
gotta
got a
be
lot of
it's literally it's at least 5. But it's a little better than that. 7.
Woohoo!
Nice.
I'll take
7,
it.
what kind of damage? Sorry.
E and F.
Electric
It's
and
using the
fire.
new cavitation pistol.
Awesome. So you fire this, and these kind of shadows gather around the ammunition. And as it hits, there is this kind of discharge of electricity or some kind of an energy that seems to ripple, and briefly it kind of glows from within. Deals full damage. Anything else?
Nope. Free
Okay.
action, please retreat.
I think we can. Our comms are in us, so.
Oh,
Not
right.
mine.
So
Get your help.
that brings us
My
to this
watch.
creature's turn. Bubbles.
Yep.
This creature. Excuse me. And it is going to occupy your space.
Yeah, let's do it.
Bubbles, from where you are on the walkway, suddenly you see coming out through the grates one little strand, then like another, and all of a sudden on either side, and it just into the space. You have to step back a couple of times as it gets there. It previously made its big attack. However, it is going to... Yeah, why not? It is going to separate, and you can see Crumb's mouth, or Crumb just for 1 second, and Crumbs is going to say, "We'll use you to help us." And then, and it just surges forwards. Make an athletics check, please.
Fuck. You get swallowed again.
8 plus 5. 13.
That does not beat a 36. It lifts you into the air and hurls you at the other containment field. Can you go ahead and make a reflex saving throw, please?
Where am I going? Right
That
there.
thing,
Into
yeah.
that corner, yeah. Well, into the rocks that are containing it, really, but...
Like here.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, that's a 19 plus 6.
Very nice.
Yes.
Okay, give me
25.
1 second. Where are my d6?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Okay. All right. So as you are like hurled towards the stasis field, you grab the Dothko, and as you like slam into it, you can feel the containment like crack. It doesn't shatter, but it does crack all behind you. The hard light beginning to glow and glint different colors. You like fall and take the Dothko and like slam it into the rock. You catch most of the momentum, and the rock does crack in half and crumble down. And this containment field is getting closer and closer to failing. In fact, one more good hit is probably going to do that.
Ruh-roh.
As that cracks, you see that perfectly round sphere of darkness within, and you can see this huge creature on top with it, almost calling. But that is going to be its action. Nobody's within 20 feet of it?
Nope.
Phenomenal. That is its turn. That brings us to Gibbs, followed by Spice.
Gibbs is gonna try and take her turn at the same time as Spice, as she's kind of skittering against this the like murky part of the orb that
Yeah.
Tombstone's in, and realizes that she probably can't do enough damage to get through this.
It's very thin.
Oh, okay.
Can you scratch, like, thin enough to scratch?
Yeah, I can. There's like rocks and shit. Like
Yeah.
this debris. I will throw a telekinetic rock at it,
Yeah, absolutely.
which is a literal rock, but it uses magic to project it.
Go ahead
so
and
it
roll
should-
damage. It's just a bubble right in front of you.
Okay. Hold on. I should know this one. Oh, projectile. 6 plus
Hey,
some magic.
you needed 5.
Hey.
So as you like take this little rock and you throw it telekinetically, it right through the water, and you can see this little trail of bubbles before it hits, and the whole bubble pops. And you see for just a moment this perfect sphere of air around Tombstone before the water collapses in, and suddenly Tombstone is drowning.
Okay, that's fine.
But you can see his body begins to twitch a little bit. The freebooter armor like dragging him down. He's kind of heavy.
All right.
But
Grab his hand.
okay.
Fire extinguisher.
Okay.
Gravity and water, very similar.
Oh.
Move action, deploy fire extinguisher, pointing to the ground to get us out.
Okay. I'll say, rule of cool, the way that this works is you take the fire extinguisher and you're like, cool, quick escape. You grab Tombstone under your arm and you deploy the fire extinguisher, and the water gets really cloudy, and you slow, and Spice, you're just like,
Like, not just, yeah.
if you wanted, you could just reach up and just grab Gibbs back down. And you're just like, Gibbs, go. It's like, yeah. And then Gibbs, at the very end of your turn, in your mind, you're like, you explode out. But for everybody else, it's like your head slowly gets out. And
You're just watching the water like very slowly start bubbling, like a hot tub.
Yeah, exactly. It's just it's like the Terminator scene, but in reverse, and you just explode out, gasping, coughing. But in your mind, super cool, and you are holding Tombstone under your arm.
What cat?
That is your turn, and for what it's worth, suddenly you are illuminated from underneath. And as you look down, you can see this golem looking back up at you.
I sent him a little poop.
Okay. That is your turn, Gibbs. That brings us to Spice.
Spice, watches Gibbs and Tombstone just kind of float up and go, shakes her head underwater, and then goes towards the golem because she's like, we all know what's gonna happen next. What am I gonna do though to stop this golem? I guess she's going to, in the middle of the water, in between the golem and Tombstone, she's gonna starfish in the water.
Okay.
As a physical barrier in between the two of them. And then also, so you can shoot underwater. Am I close enough to hit with a melee weapon?
Yeah. This creature, to be clear, this creature is about 20 feet tall, so anywhere in this pond, you are close enough to hit this creature.
Alright, so what she's gonna do is she's going to unclick her hammer, and she's gonna do her best to ding its head underwater.
Go for it. Make your attack roll.
Natural 1!
Natural 1. You swing, and the water makes it like...
Yeah.
And you just kind of ding right into it. It doesn't seem to even notice. Maybe that's a good thing, truthfully.
Yeah.
Anything else, Spice?
Probably a good thing.
That's all I can do.
Okay, Spice, you end your turn starfished in front of this massive mechanical being. That is your turn, Spice. That brings us to Echo, followed by Bubs.
Echo sees that Gibbs is out of the water and Spice seems to be having fun. So they're going to rush over towards Bubs.
Okay.
On the ground there. Just
I can't reach
Dan,
that
if you
far.
could help.
Yeah.
right in front of the cube, which is, I guess, a sphere. In front of the containment cube, who is not our companion.
And you can see like there is shattered hard light, and so like there are like rainbow glints all along the edges of these cracks. It's close to failing.
Is there a brand on the containment field?
There is.
What is
It's
it?
Canosa brand. These are Canosa brand containment fields.
All right. Can I do like either a sense motive or a culture check, I guess, to figure out if connecting the two things is good? Like,
Make a sense motive check.
Okay.
Yes, you've heard it speak on a number of occasions now, and there are things that are definitely happening. Oh, this is yours.
Oh, yes. It's got Gibbs in it.
Gonna eat
Oh,
us.
Gibbs.
24.
24. With the 24, when you first heard this creature speak, just kind of out from Crumb's mouth, you heard it say, Gibbs can do anything. Gibbs releases. And then, after that second one joined, almost complete sentences, began to refer to itself as we. It seems to be growing smarter as it gathers more mass. And so as it kind of conglomerates, it will become more intelligent. Whether that's good or bad really depends on you guys and what you do. It also, as you see this aura like beginning to snap around it and become real, and you felt it before, it seems to gather new abilities as it gathers more of itself as well.
It touched Echo.
Yeah.
Did the thoughts feel pleasant?
With a 24, with a 25, you would have gotten a little bit more. With a 24, it was hard to tell. This is, for what it's worth, this did not have an overwhelming sense of evil. This is not like facing down Harlax, the Gore Fiend, or creatures like that. This is a overwhelmingly large and complex entity, and to really guess its emotions and like motivations is tough.
There's a wheel out there in the world.
And with that
Echo
with that wheel, and I do know that there's a couple wheels saved up, so I'll tell you what. With these wheels, you get the sense that should... You said, what was the last question that you just asked? You said...
Do the thoughts feel bad? When it was like touching Echo's mind,
when it touched you, you heard things like, it's cold. You heard things like, at least we're not in space anymore. You heard things like all different kinds of thoughts. Mm-hmm. They didn't necessarily seem entirely connected to this creature. Mm-hmm. And so there is a conglomeration of both the entities that have died in here and whatever this organism is. And I'll say with the 25, there is a word that pops into your head. This creature, this conglomeration of microbial organisms, is called the Primanism. And that is what you know.
Echo's gonna grab their Locust Blade, which has a harmonic ability, which means it like can oscillate.
Yep.
And kind of look over at Shay and just be like, and shove it into the containment field.
Okay, yeah. Make an attack roll. Or no, don't make an attack roll. Roll damage.
Hold
Oh,
on.
God.
That's not where I thought this was gonna go,
Yeah,
but I'm
me
so
neither.
glad.
All right.
Yes,
this
yes.
keeps taking some left turns that I wasn't prepared for.
I'm ready for this guy to be friendly.
Okay. With a 2. Oh boy. So close. You barely nick it. And if you had one more damage, you could see all along spider webs of cracks along the light. It has one more hit point in this containment field. The wheel falls and
I was
goes.
gonna say, with the saved up wheel?
You know what? For the saved up wheel.
Okay.
If that's really what you would all like.
No.
Yes,
Shatters.
yes.
This
seems
field,
like a
the
wall.
hard light field shatters. It disappears into the ground, and you see this orb into this gloop. And at the same time, up above, this massive creature just rises up. You can see almost like ribbons of this dark mass writhing in pleasure. And throughout the room, all of you in your minds can just hear this triumphant yell as it begins to undulate and this other one begins to move back together. But because it's 8 o'clock.
No!
Let's take a quick 10-minute break, and then we'll see what happens.
I can like feel the tension.
We'll be back.
It's so
It is
romantic.
8 o'clock. We'll be back at 8:10 to
It's
finish up this
not.
session. We'll see you in just a moment.
It's like my love, myself.
And welcome back. Thank you for joining us. If you did during the raid, thank you very much for that. Who was it that raided us? It was Dice Dragons Guild. I'm sure that picked up. But Dice Dragons Guild, thank you for the raid.
I would not have moved.
When we left off.
Gibbs.
Echo.
No, I
Sirens
always move.
Echo, you shattered this hard light containment field, dropping this large ooze of black mass to the ground. And as it hits and swarms, you can see the larger creature rise up in victory. And that is the end of your turn, Echo. Bubs, what would you like to do, followed by Shade?
Imagine Bubs probably lets out a little toot when he hits the wall. But, Bubs can't smell toots.
Real.
Honestly, Bubs doesn't even think farts have smells.
Oh, man. I'm so lucky I don't get it over here.
Sticky.
Bubs is going to move 15, staying within the air. I imagine he's, what's the height of this catwalk?
15 feet
15.
tall.
Okay, so he's 15. He's moved 15 over. He's going to throw, and then he's going to move 15 back. So I'm just going to put him there.
Okay. What are you throwing?
The Dovco, but the return.
Cool. Very nice. Yeah.
Boomerang.
Sucked it.
Ooh, that's gonna be a miss. That's an 18.
An 18, as you throw it, it goes straight through this creature. It stretches apart, and as it closes and it returns into your hand, this creature turns to you and just says, "We have come too far to be stopped now. All these different mouths just speaking through it. Anything else, Bubs?
Bubs, instead of returning, Bubs is gonna go right here, 15 feet right there.
Okay. So you drop down. That is where you are, Bubs. Shade, what would you like to do?
I mean, no one's listening, so I
Standard
guess
procedures.
Ooh, okay. I am. Is this? How far is it to get from here to here?
That looks like 25 feet.
It looks a little more.
It might be 30.
It's 25 on the ground, so
Oh,
the
okay.
hypotenuse
Yeah,
is
yeah,
like
yeah.
30
So I think
or
I can
whatever.
do that with my 40.
Yeah, 35
Like,
feet to get there.
Up and down. Okay. And then trying. I guess. Let me see if because I have another new thing that I think I'm gonna try to do.
All right, what are you doing? You just had a whole break.
You think we think on the breaks, Joe?
Wow.
We fight with each other.
I don't know if
We eat snacks.
because this is gonna make it shaken. I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay.
You want it stirred.
Using my exocortex's action, I'm going to use my new feat, Amplified Glitch.
Okay.
I can wirelessly introduce a fast-acting virus into nearby technological devices to briefly cause them to malfunction in loud, surprising ways. I can use it on one target per level. Per character level. They can't be 30 feet apart, but I'm just going to do it on the main body.
Okay.
It needs to be either carrying technological devices or within sight and hearing of such devices.
Yeah, it's in sight and hearing. Bubs' communicator, the kind of like, yeah.
So basically, like, everything within 30 feet of it that is a technological device is just going to start going off.
Okay.
And so I need to make a successful computers check. The DC is 15 plus 1 per target plus 1.5 the CR of the highest CR target.
Okay.
Which it's 1, so. That's going to be a 27.
That is too low.
Okay. So everything starts glitching up. Doesn't work, but then standard action, I am going to try to attack it once again.
Go for it.
It's a regular old
As you
attack.
use that glitch effect, suddenly Bubbles, your communicator begins to like ring at your belt. Your little like motorized breath mint just starts like spraying out of your belt. All the lights along the walkway just begin to blink off. Yeah, go ahead. Awesome.
I didn't know I have a motorized press.
Does your weapon have a
I
critical?
believe it.
That's my inventory.
An extra d6 of pulse damage.
Very nice.
Pulse.
He goes. "Vrr, vrr, vrr, vrr."
Yeah, that's when like he drops his jaw and goes.
So
"Stop!"
it's not double the dice, right?
Yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Double the total?
Anything on any dice that you
okay.
roll, you double. Then you add your modifier.
And plus the additional bonus. Okay, cool. So that's 13, 26. 29.
Very nice. And what kind of damage?
It's energy and fire
Okay.
plus 1d6, which is pulse. And I got 2 4s and a 5 for the dice rolls.
For which? For the pulse?
I didn't designate which one.
Gotcha.
I'll make just make a 4.
Yeah,
I
no
guess.
problem.
Doesn't really matter.
So with that damage, that like rips into it, and as you fire, it seems as if this does the full amount of damage that you would expect it to. It hits, and the black elements like fire away from it and streak away, and then from within there is this pulse. And you can see within for just a second crumbs, like all the black strings just like stretching out as if there is like a almost bird cage of the substance around crumbs. And for just a second, you can see he like snaps up and looks around, and then it closes back around him. Anything else?
I think that's it. 29.
Okay. That is your turn, Shade. That brings us to this creature.
Oh, wait, and I know that I ended within 20 feet of it.
Yes,
so.
you did. Sorry. And actually, Bubs, you're within 20 feet, I believe, as well. Oh, we already did that. We already did that.
Okay.
I'm flat-footed.
All right. So as you like fire,
Go down on
it
my knee.
rips into this creature, and this whole entity turns, and you can see Crumb still facing the other way for a brief moment before the whole creature turns. And in your mind, you can hear all these different voices as they just say, "We have killed so many. We will kill one more." And it just seems to like stretch its arms, and this other entity like closes the distance, and they join. You can see it begins to like integrate, and you know, having seen this once before, it does take a turn to gain its new ability, but it begins to grow and get stronger. It is going to now snap its attention over to the person who has been dealing the most damage to it, Bubbles.
After that 29.
Oh, yeah,
I did
actually, that's
just
kind of close. That's kind of
blow it with
close.
a natural 20. Here.
So hang on. Yeah, it's gonna go for Shade. Shade, this creature turns, and as it stretches out and like reintegrates itself with the first half, it and then up the pillar and puts itself directly in front of you. Basically, yeah, right
Where
over
it
there.
was.
Little bit closer to you, to like you, Matt.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah, that's fine. Perfect. Yeah. And it just slams down here, and it is going to go ahead and make an attack, and this is going to be one of these more powerful attacks.
Of course it is against Shade, who already fielded one.
Sorry.
Shade, that is going to be a 29 to hit.
oh, that misses.
Does it?
Oh, what the fuck? No!
I think Bubs' AC is like.
So
30
one
though.
thing that you guys also have access to are abilities that give you bonuses to like KAC, EAC, different things like that. Those
I
things do
used it on
stack.
+2 to gun instead.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, Shade, that is going to be 31 points of bludgeoning damage. Ouch. As it slams into you, can you go ahead and make a will save, please?
I guess I can.
No,
It's
I'm
not
gonna take it.
great. Oh, that's actually pretty good. 24.
With a 24, you just barely succeed, willing yourself against this, not allowing these small organisms to penetrate into your mind to pull the very life essence away, and you don't take an additional negative level.
But he doesn't like bring him into himself, correct?
No.
Okay. I was
So-
wondering if it's gonna do that or not.
That doesn't seem to be. No, I've already
Okay.
used a bunch of monsters that eat people.
Okay,
take a
so I
break.
was wondering. Okay, that.
So that
was
is
my
that
worry.
creature's
That
turn.
might be
That
worry.
brings us to the top of the round, to Gibbs. What are you doing,
We
Gibbs?
released you, and is gonna see if she can bargain with this creature.
So what are you offering? What is your bargain?
Not to continue to be a pain in its ass. And she's gonna cast, because from my understanding, I now have the battery of which the magical protection came from. So is going to cast Wall of Steam around it with the hot side in.
Okay.
And try to bargain on pain for its release. So we'll just
Okay. So all
How
around it.
close around it?
I
Is
can
it
do it all. I can do it like
I know, but
Yeah,
how
you
close
can. You
to
can stretch it
touching
around.
it? Because
it's like touching it.
It almost
Okay,
has to
but
because to make a circle around it, it's literally around the circumference of it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So it's close, but you encompass all of it, and it just kind of like snaps off a tiny little like slug that just away. But no problem.
Do I see that tiny little slug?
Yeah.
Where is that tiny little slug? If I was to
Right down by your feet.
Great. That's the slug.
Cool.
Great. Cool.
It's a flavor slug.
Right
this
in the
is
bottle.
this is like in the video game. It like
Right.
fades through the floor. You know.
Cool. Yeah.
Flavor slug.
Yeah.
Why do I now D4s in my tray? Oh yeah, because they're hard to see. That's why.
Sour
Yeah, they
cherries.
are.
So it does 6 points of damage.
Okay.
Those beyond 5 feet within 10. And Shade's gonna take. Sorry, I forget. One side of the wall gives off steering seam. Creatures within 5 feet of this wall take 2d4 fire damage, and those beyond 5 feet but within 10 feet take. Is that?
Because it's a tight circle, it would be like closing in on itself. It
Yeah.
can't double damage somebody, so no
So
additional.
Shade doesn't get
No, he
damage.
doesn't.
Okay, cool. Then okay, cool. Then it does that damage.
Cool.
And I'm gonna start half movement because I'm pulling something of equal size
Okay.
to start to pull Tombstone towards the door.
Okay. So you move Tombstone 15 feet away. No problem.
And we get like right outside the pool, basically.
Yeah, so you like stagger off the rocks. You have Tombstone sopping wet. You feel shallow breath, still alive. That is your turn.
Wake up!
wake up.
Wake up! Yeah.
Give me a little tail slap.
Yay.
Gibbs.
Yeah. Has to pass through Spice to get to me.
It does, and so Spice, go ahead. Are you trying to stop it?
Yeah.
Make an athletics check.
Starfish,
Yeah.
baby.
She's like floating in the water, being like, "You shall not pass."
Sure. Go ahead, make an athletics check to see if you can stop this 16-foot tall mechanical magical construct
You know,
that is using
Chilling
its
on
rocket
top, man.
boots
How do I
to
do
Iron Giant its way, not a sponsor, out of this water.
watch me. Oh, okay.
can't read
What
the dice.
athletics?
Yep.
27.
27?
27.
Spice.
Pizza.
Fucking hate it.
Oh my god, what?
As this creature begins to like kick off and it begins to fly forwards, you are like starfished in front of it, and you know as it's like begins to take off and looms towards you, you know there is no way that you can stop this. And then like elements of rock have fallen down since it got here. It just kind of jams, and it seems unable, not really stopping from you, but like an inch away from you, like is caught. The foot like sticks into it like the rocks,
Our
and it
nose
is
is
stuck where it is. And in fact, if you could just pull it off the board, it's still underwater. However, that is its movement.
It's saved.
As an action, it is going to attack you. And so, you know, plus and minuses. Does a 25 hit?
Yeah. I don't even have to look at my fucking sheet.
Spice. Oh, well. Sorry, does a 21 hit?
EAC or KAC?
KAC.
Pizza.
Meets the pizza. Okay. So you are going to be taking 24 points of bludgeoning damage as this creature grabs you, wrapping its fingers around your body and just slamming you into the side of the pond. And it just tries to move past you, but you do stop it in the water. That is the XL father.
Yes.
That brings us to you, Spice. What do you want to do?
Get the fuck out of this water.
Yeah, okay. So you like swim up and you burst up from the top. You look, that creature is like right next to you, and so you know you'll provoke an attack of opportunity leaving its range. But you certainly can try.
Yes, so I'm gonna do that. I'll provoke. I'll take the hit, but then also she's going to go, "Come on, Spice, it's time to fucking go!" and cast Hurry on myself.
Does a 30 hit?
Yeah, duh.
Cool. So, Spice, you take an additional...
Wait, so it's 24.
and 22 points of bludgeoning damage.
Great.
As it reaches out and just slams into you, and that punch almost lifts you out of the water. You sprawl out, but no problem. Anything else, Spice?
The rest of my movement to fuck out of here.
Cool.
So I assume, it's one movement to get to the surface of the water. And
Yeah, you can catch up with Gibbs because Gibbs has been labored for 2
Yeah,
moves.
you absolutely can.
So you
I
can,
can, yeah. So
you can
I'll
actually pass
start-
Gibbs probably, yeah.
I
can
can,
get
but
5
what
feet
I'm gonna
past.
do is not pass you, but I'm gonna take
Like,
Tombstone's other
grab him
arm
each by the shoulder.
and go, gotta fucking go!
Yes, no problem.
push him through the little
So
hole.
each of you, like one hand under the elbow, one hand on the shoulder, you're escorting Tombstone out of here. No problem. That is your turn, Spice. That brings us to Echo, then Bubs, then Shade. Echo, from your vantage point, from around this rock, as this field shatters next to you and the ooze escapes, you could see all these different things happening. What do you want to do?
I have made yet another tactical error. And Echo is going to just rush back over the cave entrance with a pistol to basically provide covering fire. Do I have 50 feet of movement to the entrance, or is that...
That's
how
like-
far is that?
I think that's closer to 80 feet, 85 feet, maybe even closer to 100.
50.
All right, Echo's going to move 50 feet. So not going to the
80.
cave.
80? Okay.
So not going to the cave entrance. We're going to move 50 feet.
50 feet gets you about, let's see, 5, 65, 60, right around where.
Oh, we're all in a cluster.
Fantastic.
That is great for the enemy.
Yeah. COVID fucking bullshit.
Okay, Echo would stand in front of them.
Curl around.
No, in front of them.
Oh,
Yes, relative to this guy.
Yeah.
right.
And provide covering fire for people to begin to get away.
Okay.
It's make a ranged attack roll against AC 15.
Okay.
And it does like a minus to. its attack.
If you hit, you deal no damage, but the selected ally gains a +2 circumstance bonus to AC. And Echo's gonna give it to Shade because Shade's in the immediate vicinity.
Yeah.
Nice.
+2 to AC is
Oh
probably not
no.
gonna
What
help.
was that? I can't read it from here.
It's not a natural 1, so I don't hit Shade, but it's still not gonna hit because that's a 12.
No,
That's
unfortunately.
3 away.
And so it just, and it doesn't even seem to notice us covering fire. But you do provide it. Anything else, Echo?
Echo tries so hard, guys. Echo just wants to do
know,
the right thing.
You guys are. But Bubbles, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna
Shade, you're
use
on
my
deck.
run action with my jetpack, fly right over,
Okay.
and get to
fuck?
here.
What is the range on that?
So
It's run, so it's 4 times my movement.
yeah, so you are going to provoke an attack of
I'll take it.
opportunity. Cool. Oh, actually no, I already used it. Never mind. So no problem. You jet past as this creature swipes out at Echo. You just dart right by.
Yep.
No problem. So you
And
pop
land
down
right
to the
on the ground,
entrance. You can see maybe 30 feet away the rest of your allies all in a big clump, moving Tombstone closer to the entrance.
Yep.
Anything else, Bubbles?
I'm gonna stay just high enough to get over these stalagmites. Too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is your turn, Bubbles. That brings us to Shade.
So people are actually starting to retreat now.
Seems like it.
I'm
Maybe.
going to
Shit, I'm sorry.
jump jets back here
Oh, I could have fucking picked it.
with my, I believe that's still within 40 feet. Because I went there
Yeah,
before.
yeah.
As the Shade flies.
And then bonus action, Escorter's move action going to redo my combat tracking.
Okay.
And then attack it again.
Go for it.
Ooh, can't get them all. That is a natty 1.
A natty 1. No, that's not going to work, unfortunately. And so you fire just off into the distance. It seems to just completely disappear into the darkness.
Smoke is just pouring out.
That is your turn, Shade?
Yep, that's it for me.
The beastie takes an extra 3 damage
Okay.
because of a specific line in my spell text, which says if I conjure the wall where creatures are, the creature takes damage as if it was passing through the wall, which is an additional
Hey.
D4.
There you go.
So
That does bring us to this creature's turn. So you surround it with a wall of steam, superheated steam that billows into it, and you can see almost as if the surface of this creature begins to boil and pop. Elements like lift away. This creature turns and it looks at you. You can see the area separate where Crumbs looks out. You can see there are like all these tendrils attached, pulling at the mouth, and it begins to speak using Crumb's voice now. And it says, Gibbs, he'll let me go, but you need to help us. He's already killed so many, and they'll come and kill us. We have to stop them. And it just like closes around. This creature is now going to... It's so tempting because there's a big group right there, but...
the Gibbs is also there.
Did I unleash the big man?
Yeah.
Yes.
It slams down.
It's gonna take some damage by moving.
30, 40, 45, perfect. It's technically occupying your space as well.
Oh boy.
It takes 9 damage by moving.
Okay, very nice. So as this creature just congeals around, following you as you travel, it just used its large attack, but at the very end, as it gets here, you see it sucks in the last remnants of that other huge black ball of ooze. And as it turns its attention to you, you almost hear it smack its lips. It looks down at you, and you hear all of these voices just say, you will help us. And go ahead and make a will saving throw, please.
I don't like those. Oh, okay. That's pretty good. 25.
25, that succeeds.
Nice.
Look at that. That's half damage.
Dealing with my own will saves right now.
Sorry, it's easier to use a computer for this. Da-da-da-da. Okay, Shade, with a success, you are taking a total of 37 points of psychic damage, halved to 16 points of psychic damage.
Jeez.
As this psychic scream ripples through you, you feel this overwhelming mind link with yours, and at once you see this flood of images. Years go by. You see this entity, and in your mind you actually see like the little name tag, Maury. It reads in this little and you see rocks crumble away as Maury discovers this entity for the first time, the first speck, and then you see all these miners succumbing one by one to this creature, and them being forced to first with tools, and then as the tools fail, with their hands and their fingers dig away the rock to free more and more of this. And with only 2 elements, these 2 massive elements remaining, you have now freed and united this creature. You see all of this in a moment as it floods over you and floods by you. But that is that creature's turn. That brings us to Gibbs.
Gibbs is realizing we are fighting 2 enemies at the same time, the golem and this creature, and we cannot possibly do both and escape. We can barely do one and escape, to be honest. So Gibbs is going to turn her attention to Tombstone and see if she can wake up Tombstone enough to control the golem.
Okay.
Can I make a medicine check or something? Like, what's the check here?
So
I don't really have a
this
spell
is
for
a
this.
stabilized person that is at 0 HP.
Oh, great. Cool. Healing serum.
There you go.
Is
So
that a
you take
bonus
out this
action?
healing serum. I believe it's a swift action, yes.
Cool.
You can break out your healing serum and just jam it into Tombstone. He is, you feel like a bone crack a little bit. He is like weak and fragile. He's emaciated, and as he wastes away, like most Usoki, the bones become brittle. But you see suddenly the eyes shoot open. And this little creature, like startled, just starts coughing, the little bits of water coming out of his mouth. And he like grabs onto you, looking around frantically.
We're here to rescue you. Your golem's attacking us. This creature took advantage of you. Please help us. And I'm gonna cast to Shade. Pretty sure I can reach. Wisp Ally. Yeah, it's 25 plus 5 for every 2 levels. That's 45 or some shit.
Okay.
So you're Wisp Allied. You get a +2 to your DC.
You feel this ooze kind of strike you, and at first Shade, you're like, oh no, but it's just Gibbs ooze. A good kind of ooze relative to the rest.
And then I can only get to the door
Okay.
And I'm gonna continue to tote him along as I'm explaining.
At
what's
the
going
end
on.
of your turn, as you are like explaining
Door's
this,
here.
he begins to walk under his own
Door's, like,
power.
in between these two.
That worked out. I thought I had
That is the end of your turn, Gibbs.
I had to go to you guys.
Yeah, that's movement, swift action. Yeah, I'm good. I did good.
Okay, so that brings us to Tombstone. Tombstone, now conscious, now awake, and able to control this construct, is going to turn. Actually, make a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy, sure. Nice. 23.
23? Okay. So as you like say all this and you kind of like explain things, you can see Tombstone turning and looking, and he sees this golem like beginning to like chase after you. Its eyes are like red, and he looks beyond. He sees this like entity going over, and you see the pupils just become pinpoints as fear overtakes Tombstone. But he turns and he just like gestures, and you see in just a brief moment these tiny little Yosogi paws change and make these little symbols. And as they do, you can see these little crackle of energy as he begins to manipulate magic and then throws this little spell over. And you watch as the magical construct begins to stretch and the metal connects back together and it seems to heal. The eyes shift to orange. And the magical construct turns and is going to take off and fly up to 60 feet to get closer to that monster.
Right here, or
It's going to get right behind Shade, probably.
Okay.
Because it has 10 feet of
Love
reach.
that.
There is this and Shade. All of a sudden, you look up, like on one side, this huge writhing creature, and on the other, this other huge writhing creature that just pierced into your starship maybe
like that
2.5 hours ago. Yeah. And it is just this awful moment. That is the end of its turn. It can't do anything. You have no idea what its intentions are. But that is
You would have
Tombstone.
heard Gibbs's bullshit down.
Probably not. That brings
He's a
us to
little focused.
Spice.
A little bit of blood in my.
What would you like to do, Spice? Echo, you're on deck.
Spice, is going to, seeing that Tombstone has brought up his construct to basically hold off the ooze beings. She's like, nice, okay, sighs a breath of relief. But she's also going to reach out her mind. She's gonna tap back into the telepathy and listen to all of the voices that were like yelling at her earlier, even though she winces at all the noise. She's gonna say to them like, you guys are gonna be okay. We'll come, like, what are these? She's assuming it's Dr. Snoot and Alasana and Maury, and so she's gonna say some names that she heard or
Okay.
she picked up along the way.
Sure.
And she's gonna reach out to Crumb and go, you're gonna be okay. Like, we'll come back. I mean, she doesn't say welcome back, but she says,
Don't make promises.
yeah,
Nobody.
she doesn't go that far. She like starts a little bit with her mind. But she's gonna go, you're gonna be okay. We've seen you, like, we're here for you, and then continue with her full movement.
Make a persuasion check.
Persuasion or diplomacy?
Sorry, diplomacy. Right, we're playing Starfinder.
Nice, okay, thank you. Okay. 7, 9, 10, 25.
Okay. You call out the names of all of the ID badges that you have. Minor Wilkes Booth, Alessandra, Dr. Snoot, just yelling all these names out into the void. And in this moment, you feel in the mist, in the particulates that coat the walls, little elements that catch your attention. It's like you are calling and these minds are still somewhere in this entity.
As my action, I would like to pull out my binoculars, peer down into the water, and see if she sees any of the other bubbles like Tombstone was holding.
I'll tell you that as when you were down there,
Yeah.
it's like a relatively small area. There's no other bubbles.
Okay, so then if that was the case, then full movement. Out this fucking chute.
Okay, so you pop out, exploding out.
pretty
You
far.
certainly feel like you got its attention for what it's worth. That is Spice. That brings us to Echo, followed by Bubs.
Not everyone's out yet, so Echo's going to just attempt to provide covering fire
Yeah.
again.
For who?
for Shade.
That gives him a what?
Remember when Shade was like, everybody, we got to get out of here. What an asshole. Last man out.
Fuck that.
How dare he?
I know. What was that?
Not a 15. Not a 15.
Oh, really
We're getting a
unfortunate.
lot of ones this game.
So, interestingly, Shade, as you are within a 10-foot space of this construct, which now considers you an ally, there is this, and as a reaction, it uses its ablative shield, and you can see, what was your, you said it was a 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say, just because this does take 10 off whatever the roll was, this just is stopped, like right in front of you. As this like golem is there, it's almost like it catches into its field and then just drops to the ground. You are not hit. That does take the golem's reaction away.
Damn.
All right, anything else, Echo?
Echo's just going to, like, kind of... Echo's not telepathic, so Echo's just like, remember that we helped you.
Okay. You say that into the dark. That is your turn, Echo.
Yep.
Bubs, what would you like to do?
Bubs is going to free action. Shade, where are you? And as an action, I guess he's just going to hold to retreat. Okay. I think I'll attack it. Yeah, I'll attack it.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
You pull the Dashko back and fling it,
Yeah.
trusting in your return.
That's a 4. That's not gonna
You, and it just slam, right into the bottom of the catwalk, and it doesn't really return to you so much as it falls and you pick it up off the ground.
Yeah.
But no problem. Anything else, Bubbles?
Guys, we gotta get out of here.
Shade, what would you like to do?
Looking over in all directions.
Yeah.
Don't like this. Free action dropping down again.
Okay. So, as a reaction, this creature, well, yeah, it still has the ability to take a reaction.
Is it making an attack of opportunity?
It is, yeah.
Okay, because I have a bonus to that with my new.
Okay.
And
Does
you
a
also have
26 hit?
What was the? Oh, you didn't. So +2.
+2, but you minus
And then
1.
also,
So
I didn't
plus
make it.
1.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't make
It
it.
ends every turn.
Yeah, that's still gonna hit.
Mine is the same skill, but it lasts.
You are
as long as the
taking
wisp lasts.
16 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool.
As these tentacles reach out and slaps and hits you, you feel bone just laced within it.
The construct I tried to do before doesn't have technological devices. It's like purely magical.
Seems to
construct.
be, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to provide covering fire. Because I see that people are still in,
Okay.
and so AC of 15 or DC of 15 to give the covering fire.
I believe so, but to who?
I'm gonna give it to the construct.
Okay.
So
Since
you're
it's-
actually doing the move covering fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But also like providing covering fire for the people.
Yeah,
down.
you're doing-
Yeah. But also the move. Yeah.
Prevent retreat.
No
but
problem.
Yeah.
Both flavor and mechanical.
Natural 20.
That's
So you
covering
lean
fire's
down,
supposed
you begin
to
to
look
like pull the trigger again and again, just releasing fire, but holding back on the power cell to conserve fuel. So you can just lay down like shot after shot. And while none of them really do a ton of damage on their own, as they fleck into him, it's like it forces this creature to kind of like ooze back a little bit. You can hear dozens of mouths just begin to yell and shout and growl in anger. But in this moment, it does seem to be effective.
And then free action to everyone. Get through now.
Okay. That is your turn?
Yep, that's it.
Okay. That brings us to this creature. As you all do this and you all surge towards the door and you free action, everyone escape now. This creature wheels around and you see faces and eyes and everything swarm to the front and they all gesture. And for those of you who are down at the bottom, you see this dark ooze turn down and like multiple faces just looking. And then you can just hear, "No, you don't." And it climbs down, which will provoke an attack of opportunity from the golem.
Nice.
It had used its reaction.
Oh,
reaction.
right.
Oh, fuck, yeah.
I'm unfortunate.
As much as I would love for that to be a thing.
So actually, technically, you pulled its reaction away too, huh? So it slams down, covering the entire space that you would need to travel to get out. Had you opened the door a little bit more, maybe it would have been easier to move by it, but you have not. So right now, slamming down, with you, Gibbs, holding onto Tombstone. This creature...
Two things at once. Magic.
Yeah, this creature is going to like rise up, and it's going to say, "I only need one of you, and you're fresh." And it is going to attack Tombstone.
Attack Tombstone reaction?
No, it's taking its attack.
I know. Can I like react to like block that?
Tombstone.
Do you have,
looking-
No, I don't have
ability to do
anything
that?
except my imagination.
So Tombstone is going to take a hit. This is less. Oh no!
Go
Yeah,
down
this is
again,
attack.
and then the construct's gonna come back after us.
Oh, yeah.
and God fuck.
Tombstone takes 24 points of damage, and they are down.
Yeah.
And as they go down and they're unconscious, okay, so that will happen on that construct's turn. That is the Primatism's turn, and I need everybody to make a will saving throw, except for Echo.
Even Gibbs?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Spice?
Where are you, Spice?
Spice is through the other side of the hole.
Are you? How far?
I would say just on the edge of the hole. Like,
Go ahead and Spice. Make a
well, fuck.
Will?
save. 20
It's
foot.
yeah, I failed. 6.
Yep.
28 or some
19.
shit.
19, 28,
It's Will.
What is it? Will saving
Yeah.
throw? Oh, it's gonna be high. 25.
25. Okay. Fail. If you are above a 21, you succeed. If you failed, you are flat-footed as this creature is moving through the space, and you can hear all of these voices begin to howl and whisper out. And as they do, you can hear multiple voices just saying things like, "We'll go stronger," and you can hear others that say, "You'll never leave," and another one that just says, "You can become more powerful." And Gibbs, in your mind, you hear one voice in particular, and it says, "Cousins, it can help us." That is its turn. That brings us to your turn. Gibbs, what do you want to do?
So the hole is blocked, you're telling me.
Yes.
Same conundrum as last time then. Gibbs doesn't want two enemies. Gibbs will stabilize. Can I... My med patch doesn't... Like, I have to go through the step of stabilization in Starfinder. It's not like
Correct.
D&D, like,
Correct.
where you can... Okay. Then I will use my cantrip, Stabilize,
Okay.
which I have.
Very nice.
Nice.
To stabilize and pull us back. And because I'm provoking, because I'm forcing this to move, I guess it gives provokes the attack of opportunity.
How are you going back?
Well, I can't stand here.
So you're lugging Tombstone back?
Yeah.
That will certainly provoke an attack
But
of opportunity.
it's against me because I'm forcing Tombstone's movement, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can get there.
So it is going to take this attack. That is going to be a 35.
Yeah, it's gonna.
to hit.
There's no way it's gonna miss Gibbs.
Gibbs.
I don't think it
You
could
are
physically miss
taking,
Gibbs.
Ooh, you got lucky. You are taking 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
That was exactly my stamina,
And
and
if
I
you could-
also lifelink with Shade, who took damage in the last round.
Can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Sure. You get 7 points of hit points before I go down. Oh, real bad. 13.
As it hits you and elements of this surge into your body, you feel, more than you can see, elements of this ooze through the cork and into the bottle itself. It gets into you, into the fur, into your mouth, into the corners of your eyes, into the lacrimal ducts. You feel it squiggle into your eye through a canal it shouldn't enter. And all at once, as all of this is happening, Gibbs, you take one negative level. And you can feel the magic that is in your body get less. This is almost eating you from within. That is that attack of opportunity. Gibbs, anything else?
Do I lose the spells I got last level?
No.
Oh, sorry.
So when you lose a negative level, it is -1 to pretty much every roll
Right.
that you can make. And then if you get 7 of them, you die.
Yeah, cool.
So that is your turn. That brings us to Tombstone, who is stable.
Stable, yes. So he's at 0 hit points, and if he's at 0 hit points and is dying, he automatically stables. And that's it. He just has the condition of stables,
Yeah.
of being stable.
Oh, you guys got rid of the gun, huh?
It's over here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it landed right here.
This guy can use the gun.
Oh, it's here.
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Oh, it's there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
that
there.
makes a
Sorry.
difference. So as the creature drops down.
Yeah, because that's where we had fired it before it jumped on me and Bubs.
It leaps down, and these jet boots fire this big gust of flame that make it not slam into the ground, but it does rattle all the walkways. And it reaches down and hoists up this big cannon, holding it under its arm for like with the hand itself on the barrel. You can see the fingers instantly begin to grow hot as it is like has its hand in the plasma of the beam itself. But it turns around and it is going to fire at this creature.
It also reduces our total stamina pool and hit points pool when you're negative level.
That is a 28 to hit, which meets it, beats it. And so with this high intensity, I'll say, who was the last person to touch the cannon?
I was.
Probably Shade.
Yeah, or
right?
me.
Yeah.
Shade.
No, because I go before you. Yeah.
Shade, you were the last one? Can you roll 6d12, please?
I don't do a.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's one.
As the
You've got
golem
one.
pulls this
Right here,
cannon
right here.
around, it is still charging, still glowing.
They're right here.
This fire,
There's two.
the plasma that runs down through the barrel is like almost burning the golem's hand, but as it turns and discharges this weapon, there is a deafening once this laser ripples out. And all of you, as the laser streaks towards this creature, to
It's
feel
still
the
got a
moisture
plus
yanked
2.
from the air.
It still has a +2 from my
Fantastic.
miracle worker.
Nice.
I mean, it hit. It's a 30, actually.
Okay.
Oh wow, this is some good. Some good. Makes bad.
40.
40. As this laser streaks out and strikes into this creature, all of you in the vicinity feel the moisture ripped from the air. And you hear screams as organisms die by the hundreds and thousands. And as they fall, Shade, this deals significantly more damage than you would imagine. In fact, this seems to be much more close to the order of 80 points of damage. As this weapon deals cold damage.
Tried, but it didn't hit it.
We're all like, where's your
Bam.
cool damage?
All at once, as like the light flickers away and everything goes through, you can see this creature, elements of the ooze like falling off of it, parts like turning into dust and crumbling away as the moisture is sucked from this creature. It shrivels and shrinks down. And Gibbs, you can now see the shoulders of Crumbs, the knee of Crumbs. He is not completely covered anymore, but this creature is looking rough. And you can see all across Crumbs' emaciated body, bruises forming, as the damage that is happening to this creature is certainly being transferred to Crumbs as well. You would imagine, if you are not freeing Crumbs before you kill this creature, you will kill Crumbs too.
Joseph!
That is, however, this golem's turn. That brings us to Spice. Spice, from where you are, all the moisture is sucked out, so much so that like elements of your skin curl and your lips chap and crack. It is like all of the moisture is sucked away, and as these little organisms die, little bits of like snow are falling down now. What do you want to do?
So Spice is like on the other side of the hole, and she's like, she watches as her friends are on her way in, but then it all goes black because the construct, or whatever, not the construct, the ooze lands in front of the hole, and she's like, and then she feels her skin, all the water gets sucked out, and she's like, fuck! But she heard Crumb say, it can help us? And then so she reaches out, and she screams through the hole, she's like, what do you mean, Crumb? What do you mean it can help us?
Okay.
That's what she
You
said.
scream that out. No problem.
And then saying that, she's also going to... she's going to reach out to specifically Gibbs with her mind, and go, Gibbs, it's gonna try to get to you, but you got this, babe, and give you an inspiring boost.
Oh, what does that give me?
That gives you 22 hit points.
Very
Hit points
nice.
or stamina points?
Stamina points, sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One's
So
more
as
valuable
you
than the other.
reach out and you say, Crumbs, what do you mean? You just hear screams and shrieks. And Spice, At some point, you crossed a threshold. In fact, probably in that last attack, where this creature is no longer interested in talking.
Okay.
You hear screams and shrieks. It is in its. You hear like it is dying right now. It is badly hurt. Your words have no effect.
Okay. She doesn't want to plug up the hole, so I'm gonna kind of reach my hand through to see whoever grabs it, and she's gonna yank him through. So like just kind of ready that.
Okay. Okay. And so you're gonna try to grab crumbs out from the
Yeah,
ooze?
if
Okay.
I can reach through, she's as like the ooze is like peeling
Cool,
away.
cool. So you see just for an instant Crumb's arm, and you reach out, and then on Crumb's turn, we'll see. He might be able to grab yours. But that is
Spice
your
is holding
turn,
her fucking
Spice.
breath.
Echo, what would you like to do? Bubs, you're on deck, then Shade, and then this creature.
Echo's. Oh god. Echo sees what's happening. Echo's kind of in line of sight. Echo's gonna get in better line of sight and
Okay.
move that way towards the cave entrance. Echo's by
there's
the
Echo.
ladder.
It's like, where's Echo?
No, just on the ground. Just,
I know. I'm just where.
Just towards the cave entrance.
So like here.
Ish,
Yeah,
yeah.
Gibbs moved away to stop blocking it.
And then it's just gonna kind of like take cover behind the pole there, or whatever the support beam.
The pylon.
The pylon, and seeing Spice like attempt to reach into the ooze is just gonna try to shoot at the ooze to provide
ahead,
some
yeah.
kind of distraction from behind the thing, making it maybe stealthy.
Yeah, go for it. Make your stealth check first.
Okay, the stealth is this
so
one.
nervous.
The attack is this one.
You got this.
I don't got this. I definitely don't got this.
I don't know. You roll one good dice and one bad dice.
That's
Every
a
time.
19.
Yeah.
A 19 for the stealth,
That fails.
of course. And that is a 24 for the attack,
That also fails.
of course.
Thank you.
24?
Anything else, Echo?
That's the full action.
You turn, you fire, and so hidden are you that you cannot strike this creature. But that is your turn, Echo. You see Spice stretch her arm out even more. Bubs, what do you want to do? Shade, you're on deck.
Echo's so useless.
Bubs is going to say, guys, I think we got this. He's gonna just go back and he's gonna try to like strike for it right in front of it. He has a 10-foot reach with the Dothco, so he's gonna just try to like just go down over his shoulders and strike with it.
Yeah, make your attack roll.
That is an 11 plus 11, 22. That's a miss.
That is a miss, unfortunately. You swing, and in that moment, it's like Crumb's body is pushed from the ooze, and you are about to crush Crumbs, and you turn the hammer and slam it into the rock. But that is your turn, Bub. Shade, what do you want to do?
So seeing the damage, the cold damage that it was dealt, and seeing that had significantly more effect on it, I'm going to switch to the Kinkashi Zero rifle
Okay.
that I have, which is Frostbite class. And,
All right. Going in the right direction.
I'm gonna shoot at it.
Yeah, you pulled out this really old-fashioned looking sawed-off shotgun. Although anybody who inspects it very closely would be able to tell there is technological devices at the end of it.
And so it's move action to switch guns.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay. That's cocked. That's, I think, gonna be a miss. Yeah, that's 22.
That is a miss,
minus the
unfortunately.
1. Yeah.
So you miss, firing wide again, not willing to hit Crumbs. That is your turn, Shade?
No. Then I guess now that I've made that attack, I'm going to use the. Oh, never mind. It's useless anyway.
Okay, no worries. So that brings us to Crumbs. In this moment, as Crumbs turns around and bubbles, you swing the hammer, missing him. You see suddenly it's like Crumbs' eyes open up, Spice. And he looks and he just goes, oh, and he reaches forward. And it's as if he's yanked back into this creature, unable to break free. But for just a moment, you can see like the eyes panic before it disappears back into the creature. Good try. That does bring us to this creature. Gibbs, you can hear all of these psychic screams, and you see your cousin sucked back inside.
I need to roll a d20, right? Because I'm within.
You do? Yes.
Oh, that's a dirty 20.
That is a failure.
That's still flat-footed.
So,
Oh,
as
would I
you...
have to do that too?
Say again?
Would I have had to do that too?
Where are you within 20 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really
No,
matter
I'm not.
because I can't
Gibbs
even do
not.
attack of
Gibbs
opportunities.
actually-
Gibbs doesn't, and
Yeah, I
Echo
failed.
can't be
I
flat-footed.
failed, but it doesn't matter because I'm not even doing attack of
No
opportunities.
worries. So, that brings us to this creature's turn. This creature, still in possession of your cousin, is going to turn to you, Gibbs, and it's going to say, I've already killed so many. I can never go back. I'll kill Crumbs, but you could save us. And that's all that it's going to say, although it is going to take an attack against Shade. Shade, that is going to be
I'm down.
a 33 to hit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be down. I think.
You are taking...
I can use 1 RP to stabilize, right?
No, it's
Or it's half of the.
It's 3/4.
You're taking
or some
24
shit.
points of bludgeoning damage.
Oh my god.
Are you still up?
That's exactly.
That's super good.
how
Make a
much-
will saving throw, because you would have failed this automatically otherwise.
22. 23.
23. As it slams into you, you are lucky that you are still conscious.
I'm not.
20. You're not conscious?
No.
Oh, then you can't make that save. You take 2 negative levels.
Shit.
So now you're -3, right?
Yes.
So you can to stabilize, you have to spend a number of resolve points equal to 1/4 of your minimum RP, minimum 1, maximum 3, on your turn.
Can you stabilize somebody else?
1/4.
For all
Okay,
of
so
you,
it's still-
I can
as
stabilize.
Shade goes
I can't.
down,
I have a
you can
spell.
see already it's like little elements of the ooze begin to pull Shade's body closer and closer, trying to grab him in. And to all of you, you can just hear many, many voices speak at the same time. I'll eat you one by one. I will grow. That is its turn. That brings us to you, Gibbs.
Will you let them go? And I'll step forward away from seeing Shay go down.
So are you intending to trade yourself for your crew? Or are you lying?
It's not lying.
Okay.
She
make a
would do
persuasion
it.
check.
Wanting to bargain also for Crumbs. Well, for everyone but herself, really. Oh, fuck. Persuasion?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Sorry, diplomacy.
16?
You say this out, and this creature is writhing. You see it sucking Shade in. It pulls him in even closer.
As I step past Shade, it's still blocking the door.
Yeah. Gibbs, for what it's worth, this creature trembling, it's hurt. As long as it hasn't eaten Shade, it's really rough.
I'm gonna hook my heel between like Shade's armpit and his chest.
Okay.
Just sort of like starting the battle and lock eyes with Crumbs and cast Mind Thrust to try and kill the creature against, but I have... My casting should work, so I will cast it. So it needs to make a will saving throw, and I'll
Okay.
cast it at my second level because I have Tombstone.
Okay.
You said will save?
Yeah.
24.
It's gonna pass, but it still takes half damage.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm looking for D10s. Alright. 8, 6. So that's 14 divided by 2 is 7 because it passed.
Mhm.
And I will. I'm just gonna stand between, because I can share space with Shade, and I'm just gonna spend whatever like remaining turn I have to just sort of try and start the battle of holding him.
You strike it, and as you do, it passes, but you rip, just trying to save Crumbs. You put all of your might into this, and you feel the creature reverberate and vibrate as it crawls and tries to enter into Crumbs' body, into his throat, into his nose, into his eyes. This creature is so close to dead. So close to dead.
And Gibbs is just crying.
And
as
in
she's
your
knowing
mind, you
she's
hear
killing
this creature again,
Crumbs.
and it says, "We're so much alike, Gibbs." And suddenly in your mind, you see all the way back to the very beginning of our campaign, head after head exploding, you biting into other people. You can see as you go in, like, all of the destruction that you have left in your wake. And this creature says, "We are the same, and if you finish this, you will kill Crumbs too." And it is shaking. Mechanically, Gibbs, with your medicine knowledge, it has 1 hit point left. And so does Crumbs. That is its turn. That brings us to the top of the round. Gibbs, what do you want to do? Shade is almost pulled in.
That was my turn.
Huh?
Was that not all my turn?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was the answer to your damage.
Yeah.
Da-da-da.
Yeah.
That brings us
Spice.
to...
I would love a second turn, but
That brings us to Spice. Echo,
pull
what,
Crumbs
you're on
out.
deck.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So Spice watching Crumbs get sucked away and being like, "Ah, we're so close," and watching the threads of this ooze, really, really thin at this point. She's gonna, like, through the sweat that was sucked out of her because the air is so dry and it took it from her, she's gonna wriggle through the hole, slide out her Vesk carbon blade, and try to cut Crumb out and
Okay.
cut a hole in this.
Make an attack roll.
Okay, let's see if I can. Come on, Spice! Great. That's not gonna do it. 8.
An 8, you swing, and you just swing wide.
No!
You're hurt. You're kind of like, you have to scratch yourself up to get through because there's no sweat. And you just swing wide. Anything else, Spice? All right.
I mean, yeah, get with her other hand that's not holding a knife. Just wait for anybody so she can grab someone and pull them through.
Echo, what do you want to do? Bubs, you're on deck. You see Spice right in front of this creature, reaching towards it.
I flipped a coin to decide what Echo would do.
What's Echo doing?
Echo's gonna kind of like try to angle a little bit higher so they don't hit Spice from behind the pole while it's focused on like trying to plead with Gibbs. One dice is gonna roll hot, one is gonna roll very cold. Sweet, I got a natural 1 on the stealth.
Nice, that's a failure.
That's
I'm over here
certainly
about
a
to stab you.
Don't look at me.
Echo like steps on a skull and it just like face plants because they also got a
Secret
dirty
ninja.
20 to hit.
That is a miss, unfortunately.
Echo can't do a goddamn thing in this fight.
No one
Fire
can!
from behind, and you can't quite hit without hitting Spice, and so you shoot wide. That is your turn, Echo. That brings us to Bubs, followed by Shade.
Can I pick up Shade because he's basically just not going to resist.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
I am a life.
an unconscious body.
and I would like to, if I go back, the monster would probably attack me, not Shade. If I'm going to try to like at least put my back.
Mechanically, it has
Yeah.
to attack you, not Shade.
And I'll just eat the attack of opportunity and try to get Shade at it.
Okay, and so you're going to move half your speed away?
Yes.
Okay. So it is going to be a 37 to hit?
Oh yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
How much?
You are going to take...
Oh, fuck.
29 points of bludgeoning damage. And can you make a will saving throw, please?
Yes. I don't care if I get flat-footed, whatever. 10. Yeah. 10.
You take
Oh,
one
actually,
negative
18.
level.
18.
You take one negative level.
Okay. Okay. Level then.
That is your turn. Or sorry, that is
Yeah. So it's everything's one less.
Bubs, Shade.
You stabilize.
Use a resolve point to stabilize.
There you
Oh,
go.
yeah, I can- I'm gonna
Use 1/4 of your resolve points to stabilize.
Rounded down.
Down.
Yeah.
Minimum 1. Yeah.
That is your turn.
Oh, I have 9,
Shade.
so it costs me like.
You have a lot of results.
Oh, okay.
Rounded
Yeah.
2 for you. Right.
So that is your turn, Shade. That brings us to
5/4.
Crumbs. Spice, you're still reaching your arm out, and so
Obviously.
Crumbs will try one more time.
Come on,
One more time. times.
Come on, Crumbs.
Damn it.
Reaches out again. You can see the little silky paws, but so weak, so emaciated. It's like he can't even stretch out his whole arm, and he can't quite reach you. And so he is pulled back, and this creature again, like, rises up.
Tombstone, though.
Gibbs is right there. I dropped Tombstone. No, he's
he's alive.
stabilized.
He's stabilized.
That's
What
the
is
golem.
turn?
The golem
He
hasn't
missed
done
his turn,
anything.
Yeah.
The golem, I mean, you could move the golem over to Tombstone. It's going to take that same stance where it crouches over him.
What am I holding? Oh, the gun.
The gun that it has attached to his shoulder still.
It would drop the gun. Now, it's as soon as Tombstone drops, it's like this has to just shelter it once it's past a certain HP. So that is.
Oh, he dropped again.
Yeah, but he's stabilized. I stabilized
That's
him.
what I misunderstood.
Yeah.
So that's this creature now. It wheels around towards you, Gibbs, and it says, "I would have helped you rescue your home, but now I'll use you as a battery instead." And it ripples out towards you. Can you make an athletics check, please?
Athletics?
Yeah.
Can I try to dodge it by being super speedy and so very
Probably
dexterous?
not, because this is you may not even. I mean, you could roll a natural 20. This is
I rolled a nat one.
This is a 41, yeah. So this grabs onto you, and all at once it just pulls in, and you are smashed into crumbs inside this creature. And so all at once, in front of you, in this dark space, you could see Crumb's emaciated face in front of you. He looks at you, and he just says, "Why wouldn't you help?"
I did. I came. I'm here. I'm here for you. This hurts.
All of a sudden it begins to close in, and you feel this membrane begin to form around you, similar to the one on Tombstone. As this happens, you can feel this nagging feeling at your mind, like an anesthetic is being pumped into your body. But that is its turn. You are not incapacitated, sorry, you are grappled, your speed is 0.
Doesn't matter. Mind link. I have one more spell slot.
There you go.
It has to be level 1,
Uh-huh.
but it needs a will saving throw.
Okay.
You're gonna mind link about
No, sorry, mind
all
thrust.
this stuff?
Mind thrust.
Oh.
Against this creature?
Oh, wait.
Yeah,
24.
doesn't matter. Takes half damage.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
8 plus
Wait.
10 is 18 divided by 2.
This is.
As you are in here
And
and
I'm
this creature
holding crumbs.
pulls you in and you're holding Crumbs, you could hear Crumbs says, like, "Why didn't you save me?" And you say, "I'm here now," and you cast Mind Thrust. And in this moment, it ripples through this creature, and you hear all of you in this vicinity, the same chorus, the cacophony of shouts and many, many different voices. And all of a sudden, all around, these little elements begin to fall like dust. In your mind, you just hear, "You are us." And you see Crumbs just split in half. And you are all out of combat as you kill this creature.
Whoa!
And because it is 9:15, this is where we're going to end for the evening. And so, you, for the most part, all survived. But unfortunately, Crumbs unable to make it.
Thank you for sticking with us. Ending music.
I know, right? Thank you for sticking with us through this session of Mosaic Team 5.
I love how we started with, we can't use this music because it's not the right scene.
Yeah, but like
then we ended with this.
You
it always ends
survived.
with, like a happy song.
Yeah.
And that's like the worst shit.
Thank you for joining us for this session of Mosaic Team 5. Sorry about Crumbs. You guys got a lot of really good chances. There was the diplomacy mechanic in there, and you freed him up. You had that shot. But thank you for sticking with us. We'll be back next week. If you can't wait that long, we'll be back tomorrow night with our next session of Adventures in Alberon Courts of Everest. But please stay safe. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Bye. Pew.